afternoon, good evening, and good morning from everyone, and welcome to The World's Gone Insane. Let's talk about it. Joining me, I have Zam and Jose. I'm sure hoping other people may or may not join us later. If not, it's all good. We're an open house, just like my mama's legs. Anyway, right.
Wait, what?
I mean, so as it's this dynamic trio, William is yet to join us. He may join us in an hour or so. I'm going to start with gaming. And although I only have two things on the docket for gaming, they're pretty huge things and they're pretty frustrating things. And things that just make you want to scream because nobody ever fucking learns a lesson. We're going to start with Suicide Squad, which
Oh, Rocksteady. Oh my God.
it's not, I don't, yeah, I mean, yeah, Rocksteady, but
Mm.
it's Warner Brothers games that are, and Zaslav, that are to blame for this
Mm.
monstrosity. Where the fuck? Hang on. Let me go to Fanboy Rage page where I posted all the stuff. So they dropped a trailer for the game, and of course they didn't show the UI. They tried to show as minimal amount of the battle passes and all the other greedy shit that they're gonna shove into the game. However, sleuths have been digging into the game, and of course, when you're saying when you're telling people to pre-order the game to get classic costume bonuses, you're already setting yourself up for an
Failure.
Avengers style failure. And I hope so. I hope so.
It's going down. It's going down. I'm already telling you now. I think we're going to see a $20 price tag before the end of next year, guaranteed.
For sure.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So before I pass it on to Mr. Hosea, in the standard edition, you get the full game, and if you pre-order, you get classic outfits and rogue outfits. That is PS5 digital only, exclusive. So that's only if you buy the digital copy of the game. Great. What is included in the deluxe edition? You get the full game Justice League outfits, 3 Black Mask Notorious weapons, Squad Gold weapon dolls. What the fuck is that? Is that the little things you stick on the side of a gun? 1 battle pass token. 1 battle pass token. Just one. No shade color swatches. Digital only. Whatever that means. 72-hour early launch access. Classic outfits. Rogue outfits. Blah, blah, blah. So you could tell from what they're offering here and the fact that you've got the 1 battle pass token that this game is going to be a live service nightmare. And it's such a shame
Yeah.
that, in fact, before I carry on rambling, Jose, your thoughts?
The minute that they said this was live service, I already knew people were not going to pre-order it, and the fact that they followed it up by saying like we're going to have it be heavy style cutscenes, kind of like Avengers. That tells you all you need to know. If you played Avengers, you know that the single player was good the first time you played through it, but there wasn't enough to justify it. All the enemies felt the same. Most of the characters felt the same. Nobody really stood out. They added Spider-Man as a PlayStation exclusive just to try to get people to buy the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing here where they're like, oh, yeah, people on PlayStation will get an exclusive character. But that's about it. I mean, I don't really see any reason to buy this game. I think your best bet is to wait for it to be around $10, which it will get there sooner than you think. Or wait for it to come free to PS Plus or Game Pass. Do not buy the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Zamo.
It just got worse and worse, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like but it got worse and worse by being more and more generic, and like whatever made it so spectacular, whatever made this game so interesting, and so sought after initially, just dissipated in the most latest trailer. I'm very disappointed. There's no uniqueness with these characters, and the only good thing I found out was that Samoa Joe's fucking King Shark. Other than that, there's nothing special about this at all. I don't care about this game anymore. And it's a real shame because I love like these sort of massive co-op sort of shooters like this, like Gears of War, or especially Gears of War 3, which was a 4-player co-op PvE game with a story and everything. It was so much fun. And I was hoping we would get something along those lines, and I guess to a degree it would be, but not in the same caliber, in my opinion. It's fuck it, I don't care.
Guys,
I'm with you guys. I was hoping it would that each character would feel unique. You know, like you'd have King Shark be like the big bruiser, tanky sort of guy. Captain Boomerang using his boomerang, kind of being the magic sort of guy. But no, they all look more or less the same sort of generic cut and paste army guy. You'd probably get in something like Fortnite or something.
yeah. I mean, the characters. How the hell you got Captain Boomerang, who's got a goddamn sniper rifle and machine guns and all this kind of shit, and and Harley Quinn and King Shark as well. You know, the gameplay is generic. It's every character does feel the same. They all have a method of traversing up buildings and flying around and all this kind of stupid crap. And it's so frustrating when you could have had each player, you know, approach a game in a different style. So if you wanted your big bruiser up close and personal ass kicker, you've got your King Shark. Harley Quinn could do the more kind of stealthy stuff, you know, and the kind of difficult traversing stuff. Captain Boomerang is like your kind of short, long range kind of stuff, and your thief, whatever. And yeah, you got your sniper. But you know, like you guy offers support from a distance and all this kind of crap. But instead, you've just got 4 characters, all the same crap, all the same shit. And looking at the gameplay, you know, I mean, the story looks great. From what it is, the story looks great. That's the key. That's the key winner here, and I don't want to take anything away from that. But like with Mortal Kombat games, it's one of those where I'm just going to watch the cutscene edits together and just enjoy the storyline. I'm not going to go and buy a game that's going to be generic. Like I downloaded Gotham Knights on PC.
It's free. It's $20 on PlayStation Plus right now. So I'm probably, and that's a game that I could probably like get and be like, okay, because I've seen gameplay of Gotham Knights, and I think Gotham Knights is actually more pleasing. From
I wouldn't bother with
4-player co-op.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't bother with you, mate.
I mean,
I got bored. I got bored within an hour of playing it because it was all the same old crap.
Oh, okay.
And the story wasn't that good either. So it was rubbish. And this game it's going to be more of the same. Only this time it will have a good story.
Here's a fucking Far Cry. Lego Batman 4. Can we make that fucking happen? Please. If we're gonna get a Lego game, can we get back to Lego Batman? I mean, I know we had Lego DC Villains a few years ago. I'm ready for the next Lego Batman to come out.
All 4 of those games were awesome, by the way. Yeah, Gaz.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, like, because Rocksteady are better than this. They made famous the Arkham games. They made so many awesome games, and then they've turned out this crap. This must be some sort of like studio mandate or something.
Yeah. So to be clear, the 2 heads that founded the Rocksteady Studios have quit. They left the company.
That says it all right there.
Right. They quit the company because they didn't like the hello TOD. They didn't like the decisions being made by the higher ups. And this is Warner Brothers Studios. This is nothing to do with Rocksteady, because we've seen what Rocksteady do. They make amazing games. They wanted to do Superman next, but Warner Brothers was like, no, you're going to do a live service superhero game, and it's going to be the Suicide Squad. And unfortunately, they got stuck with that. So the heads of the creative were like, no, I didn't sign up to make fucking stupid live service games. So they're gone, and they're going to form another studio. And just to sidetrack a little bit, if I was those guys, I will grab as many of the current Rocksteady team as I can, get them in, and go and buy licenses from Image Comics, from Boom Studios, from IDW, all the non-Marvel and DC characters. Yeah. Go and get them, get the license for those, and just show them how it's done again. Because with the Image stuff, you can make a fantastic Spawn game. You can make a fantastic Savage Dragon game. Gen 13, oh no, Gen 13 is owned by Wildstorm, which is owned by DC. So forget that one. But Spawn, you know, all that kind of stuff. or Mark Miller's lot. You know, you could do like Invincibles. You could do like Jupiter's Legacy. There's so many different things that they could tap into. And they should do it, and as a big fuck you to kind of Warner Brothers. That's what I will do.
I never thought I'd say this, but when you have a fucking card superhero game and the Midnight Suns be better touted than fucking Suicide Squad, you know you have a problem. When a fucking card game is better than what's supposed to be a real superhero game or a superhero game. No, I'm talking the one Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns,
It was like that turn-based card game that came out a while back.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a mix between Hearthstone and XCOM and all that bollocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because you're absolutely right there. Because I saw that storyline trailer and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that is, as you were saying before, Ginger. That looks like the strongest element. It's just like, why can't the gameplay just be as good as that bloody storyline stuff? Because the storyline stuff looks really strong.
I think the only approach you could take with it, and I know they're not going to do this, but make it $10, make the deluxe $20, and that's literally going to be your best bet because nobody in their right mind should be paying almost $100 for this game. Nobody in their right mind should
going to pay that kind of money. And then what's the fucking like? What are the restrictions going to put in place because there's a battle pass? What grinding are you going to have to do to level up? How many currencies is the game going to have? Which we already saw leaked earlier that there was like 4 different types of currencies, and it's just a flustercluck, and it's so frustrating because. But on the good news is if this flops, then it's just going to keep flopping and flopping and flopping until Warner Brothers Discovery just either sells the studio or just fucking bites a bullet and says, fine, we'll have to go back to doing what we did with Hogwarts Legacy and just make good fucking non-greedy ass games.
He said if.
When? Yeah, when? Because that's not all either. So because obviously the Wonder Woman game is also going to be a live service game.
Oh my God! Seriously?
Yeah. There was a thing leaked that they're hiring for somebody with live service expertise for that game. How the fuck do you make a Wonder Woman game a live service game? That's just ridiculous. But that being said, David Zaslav said he wants to be a lot more aggressive with his monetization in games. He thinks that that all games moving forward will be live services. So God knows what that means for Hogwarts Legacy 2. Is that going to be that's probably going to be live services as well. Yep. So that's just shitting on the good karma built with that fan base as well. And what annoys me like with capitalism is just that this incessant need for infinite growth for the shareholders, and it's unsustainable. Like gaming is very volatile. We've seen how many live services got shut down last year. Last year was like the apocalypse for live service games.
If there was ever
again, TLD.
If there was ever a time for indie studios to rise up and revolt, it's now, because indie studios are where you need to go for gaming.
Indie studios are killing it at the moment. They're doing fantastic, and it's not about like these companies like Activision, whatever. They can argue, well, yeah, but they're not making $1 billion. No, but what they have is a steady, sustainable business that'll last them for a long time. You lot. If you didn't have like your Call of Duties, like Activision would have been fucked. Like other than Call of Duty, the only other profit that they make is from their like mobile games. And for fuck's sake, the Diablo game would have like helped them a little bit. But other than that, I'm sure they've got a couple of more properties that make money. But the Blizzard wing of Activision is absolutely just fucked. But the point is, it's so volatile, and now because people just don't have money because of the cost of living crisis, everything's gonna fuck up tenfold. Like Modern Warfare 3 is already, I think, their lowest selling game to date now of the Call of Duty franchise.
And the concurrent player base has dipped dramatically.
Yeah.
Last I checked, only probably around 200,000 people worldwide are playing right now. And that's about it.
Yeah, which is ridiculous for that kind of game.
Mhm.
And it's just showing you that, you know, the clock is ticking. The clock
Yeah.
is ticking. And the only ones that are going to be able to sustain themselves in that kind of environment will be the indie studios. Like we've seen Baldur's Gate 3 killed it with sales and is just going to suck up awards. And the company's already working on the next game.
I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and get it anyway. Just be like, all right, you know what? I'll pay the $80 because I've been hearing great fucking things about Baldur's Gate 3.
It's supposed to be superb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're adding fucking modders to it, which makes it even better. They're embracing it. They're saying, okay, you guys want to mod the game? Have at it. And I'm like, that's good shit. Because then
exactly.
it adds more to the game.
Absolutely.
But it's also a smart business move because they're embracing that part of the community. So therefore, more people buy the game thinking, oh, I could put this thing in that will be a better thing for the game. And it will improve it. Bloody hell. It's intelligence. It's like knowing it's dealing with your fan base.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, building goodwill with your fan base
It's key.
is key. I mean, I say that, but we still deal with gamers like just having, you know, huge amounts of FOMO, but it's selective. Like with FIFA, you can guarantee that's going to make money. With Madden,
You know.
Call of Duty, it's on a decline now. So as much money as it's making, it probably won't keep making as much money as it fucking once did. But there's other properties.
Remasters. I don't know what's wrong with me. Remasters. That's what's gonna try to save their ass because I don't know if you guys know, but Black Ops 1 and 2 supposedly is getting remastered. So take it as you will.
Terrible. Well, now that Microsoft owns them, let's see the kind of fucking shit show that happens there. Speaking of Microsoft as well.
Sorry, just a remaster thing. Like, I do find a sense of laziness towards remasters instead of making new games. But then when I see Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater looking like a modern game with what makes it so good in the first place with the gameplay dynamics and stuff like that, which was so good in that game in the first place, looking the way it does now, you know, I'm almost like tempted to say I wouldn't mind a few games from the past being given a facelift. We were talking about everything or nothing, which is in our opinion, Jose, is the best James Bond game ever made.
It is.
You know, goddamn right it was. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And it was, and not only that, it was a unique James Bond story on top of that.
Yep.
You know, while all the other James Bond games have been from James Bond movies and all of that, and I would love Everything or Nothing to be given a remaster because they haven't made anything close to that.
Yep.
Hands down,
since that game was made.
Hands down, one of the best co-op modes of any game ever, and it was so fucking hard. And that game was really hard.
That's
that was a really fucking challenging game. Yeah,
that's what she said. She was like,
she played the game as well, so that's why she said it was really hard as well. But I love that game. That is my favorite James Bond game ever made. I'm 100% with you guys. All the different shit you could do, like when you had that little creepy crawly drone thing,
and you could fucking use cheats too. Remember cheat code, kids?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuckers.
I would
see that moment where one of the Bond girls get thrown off a cliff, and then you jump off the cliff to save her, and you're shooting the fucking bad guys who are on the edge of the cliff, and you're falling down the cliff, skydiving to fucking save her. So James Bondy. You know, like Jesus Christ, man! I want they should make that game was hugely popular. They never made a sequel to that game.
I think ever since EA let go of them, and they've never made another one since.
Yeah, it was made by EA,
man.
But they never made another sequel. It was frustrating. I don't think it sold as well as it did.
Speaking of remasters, can we get Metal Gear? Can we get the first two original Metal Gear Solids remastered for fuck's sake? Because they've been talking about that too. That's another. What?
Sorry.
No. They released versions recently, but they were just from like the PS3 era. They weren't remastered or anything.
They were ports, my dude.
Just lazy ports. Yeah.
Yep, they were ports. They were not re-releases. They just
a remaster means basically rebuilding the kind of game from the ground up, but having the same core.
And what's sad is you could tell with the emulation on that collection. Yeah, it's not even the authentic emulation.
Yeah.
It's not even the authentic ROM that they used.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally against like some remakes. It depends on the game. I don't need a fucking Call of Duty remake. You know, Modern Warfare could have been called anything, and it still would have been awesome. Like I give full props to Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
when it came back out.
2019 was dope. That was a great Call of Duty.
Outstanding, and Warzone out fucking standing. But they've shit the bed with everything ever since, except for Cold War Zombies, which had Outbreak, which is just one of the best Call of Duty thing ever for me.
Okay, speaking of God, since I'm here, I can actually talk about Modern Warfare 3 now because I'm the only one of us that's played it. I'm the only one that's beaten it.
You're the only sucker that bought it.
Do not buy this fucking game. Don't do it. I'm telling you. I mean, the multiplayer was pretty good. The multiplayer is what holds it up, but the campaign, don't play it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, there is no incentive to play the campaign after you've beaten it the one time.
All right, hold on. I'm going to ask you a question. How long is the single player campaign?
You don't want to know, but okay, I'll tell you since you asked.
Please,
you can beat the campaign in a little under 3 hours. No shit.
You got me fucking kidding me.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. You could beat it in 3 hours. It's that short.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Metal Gear
give me that.
Yep. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Yep. Give me that. Give me the first 2 Metal Gear games. I'd be with it.
I mean, Metal Gear 5 is like a masterpiece, man.
It is.
And,
I love
Phantom Pain in the Ass. Great game.
It's a long last game. It's a long last game, but my god, like the depth in it and the approaches and stuff like that, fantastic.
I always died so I could use the chicken suit. Made it that much easier.
That was such
but okay.
a game.
With Modern Warfare 3, there's literally no reason to play the campaign after you've beaten it once. Multiplayer has the original 16 maps from Modern Warfare 2. And once you get past the nostalgia, you're like, okay, you've seen Call of Duty. You know what it is. You'll feel that sense of nostalgia, but then you'll be like, if I wanted, I could go back and replay the original Modern Warfare 2 because they fixed the servers finally.
Yeah, I'm just not going to fucking bother with that game. Speaking of other games that are probably going to be disappointing, but still like Bank, we've got GTA 6. In a couple of weeks, we will have a trailer for it.
Did you hear what the premise is?
No, what's the premise?
You are a single mom that has to take care of her child. That's the premise of GTA 6.
And you kids start growing up.
Yeah, you got to pay nursery fees.
Yep.
You know, you got to pick up your kid from school. You got to spend 6 hours talking about your day.
Just give me all that. Here's what you do.
You sucking on your tit while you rob a store.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's what you do. Give me Old Dads the game starring Bill Burr, and I would buy that fucking game. If they made Old Dads the video game, just as Bill Burr going around tripping up people, calling them asshole, and like making it like Grand Theft Auto, it would be one of the greatest games of all time. Make Old Dads the movie the video game. That's what I want to have.
That's it.
I saw that film, by the way. You know, just a tangent here. In that movie, he didn't like those guys on electric scooters. I know how he feels. I fucking hate them too. But then he finally rode an electric scooter to go see, so he could get to the hospital to see the birth of his kid. And he fucking loved it. You know what I mean? Because he got to feel what it was like to be on the other side. Yeah, so anyway.
But yeah, the premise of Grand Theft Auto 6 is you're in Florida, you're a single mom raising her kid. And I'm like, people are fucking pissed off about
but that's just one of the characters. There are other characters that are going to be playable.
The neurotic people are going to be really pissed off for that.
Yeah. But the thing that obviously what worries me, firstly, I say what worries me. I can't give a shit about GTA, but I'm just talking about because I know it has a massive fan base.
You care and you care deeply. You know it.
Oh yeah, I rub my nipples about it every night. But you know, the one thing that's kind of bugging me with it is the no wait, I've fucking lost my train of thought now. I've completely lost my train of thought.
Nope.
Like GTA 6.
Yeah, I was going to say something about GTA 6, and
Well, look, let me fill in with some about GTA 6. First of all,
that
this
was
trailer.
it. But yeah, carry on. You go, Zam.
I actually think it's going to be a cinematic trailer and not a gameplay trailer.
Exactly.
And so,
Yeah, Rockstar
and so-
always do that with their trailers. They just
It'll
show like
be-
the level and all of that. They don't show the gameplay yet.
It'll be a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, it'll be like in-game footage, but it's just
All right.
like cameras panning around the Miami and all this
To
kind
be a
of stuff.
contrarian cunt, I'm actually going to put money where my mouth is. I bet you both $10 or your local equivalent that there is some gameplay in it. I'm talking
Bullshit.
gameplay.
No.
Right,
no,
I just
no,
put my money
no,
where my
no,
mouth is.
All right, he
Nope.
put his money where
Nope.
his mouth is.
Nope.
Let's
Nope.
go.
No.
well,
I'm gonna.
like Rock, but the thing is with Rockstar is that they're still
I just put
using the
$10
same
on it.
sort of. They still use like when you watch something like, for instance, like Uncharted, like the gameplay footage and the cinematic scenes are two totally different things, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Whilst with like things like Red Dead and stuff, it's the same sort of stills. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
what the
in-game
terminology
footage.
is.
It's in-game footage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell one from the other, if you know what I mean, when
Yeah.
it comes to Rockstar.
Money says if anything, they're gonna do they're gonna make the trailer flashy as fuck, considering that the font is already popped in pink. So it's gonna be one of those like real flashy type of trailers. Like they'll make it all flashy. They'll make it to where you'll get to see like you flying in a
Retro
helicopter.
neon 50s
Yep.
Miami style, but
Yep.
for the modern era.
Mhm.
Yeah, what I wanted to say before I forgot, because my brain, was that one thing I worry about is the humor in it. It's going to be a little bit more probably toned down compared to its predecessor, and that kind of worries me, because if it goes a little bit too PC, then that's really gonna fucking piss the fans off. I don't think it's gonna go too PC. I think it's just gonna be a bit more,
Oh, I already know what they're gonna do. They're gonna put a chick in it and make her gay and lame. That's how it's gonna go. That's how GTA will film.
Oh
these.
god, you're
Well,
gonna
look,
milk the fuck out of
GTA
that.
5
joke,
still
aren't you?
put a spotlight on, like a satirical spotlight on the grievances of society and the inequality and things like that. It's not like it didn't do that, but it has to be done in a very satirical GTA style of way of doing things.
Yeah, that's what I hope they don't lose that.
Yeah.
They don't lose that, because that's what they were like South Park, but for games in their satirical commentary.
And
I hope they don't lose that. I hope they just fucking go after everyone. Doesn't matter what their side is.
If you could retain anyone, retain Laszlo. Laszlo is fucking hilarious. He's always been hilarious. I love Laszlo. They need to bring in Laszlo for the radio stations because he's the shit. I've
Yeah.
always loved Laszlo, and I love the content of the talk stuff. I want there to be more like talk stuff in GTA 6 when it comes to
I
the
just
radio.
want to see the next episode of Republican Space Rangers.
Commando.
Can't wait. I can't wait for that, man.
Yeah.
I've always thought that should have been a fucking show they should have brought out on the Cartoon Network.
Mhm.
Oh my god, what a great show that is!
Yep.
What is that on GTA 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, Republican Space Rangers. Oh man, absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Oh god. Like there's one guy what always made me laugh. There's one guy who was eating fried chicken, but you would never see him actually eat the chicken because he's got a helmet on. But you see him have the chicken in his hand and he'll be chewing on it, and then there'll be like a bite mark. There'll be a bite mark in the chicken, and he's chewing it, but you never actually see the interaction of the chicken going into his mouth because he's got a helmet on. So what the fuck?
And I'm gonna go ahead and say we're getting a release date in 2027, 2028. It ain't coming right away, so don't get too excited, folks.
Yeah, well, what they're gonna do? Here's what
2028.
Mhm.
No way.
Here's
No
what
way.
they're gonna do. Here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna say November 2024. Then it's gonna be March 2025. Then it's gonna be November 2025. I think that's when it's gonna come out. It's probably gonna come out around in 2 years' time.
It's a Christmas game.
Yeah, give or take 2 years, it'll
That's
come out.
exactly what they did with Red Dead. That's
Yep.
exactly what they did with Red Dead. They delayed it by 18 months.
Yep. And it'll be to where they're gonna pimp online like a motherfucker, because let's be real. Once you beat the single player, there's no reason to play the single player. That's how it's been in GTA for a long damn time. That's how it'll be with this one. It's gonna be pimped out.
But it's like that with most games, isn't
Yep.
it? Though, like
Yep.
with as long as there's a multiplayer aspect to it,
Yep.
But I'm just fed up with the Rockstar multiplayer. Like, let's do all these businesses. Let's do a casino, open the docks, fucking have a hotel, fucking like fucking under organized crime syndicates with fucking selling weed or fucking cocaine or unmarked bills or whatever. Like it's just.
This one's going to probably have crypto hacking missions and NFT piss takes and all this kind of stuff.
I wonder
they have to have a Logan Paul.
TikTokers and all this shit. Where you got
what would be hilarious? Here's what would be hilarious. Okay, clear your minds. If they out Saints Row, but in the most satire way possible, that would be fucking hilarious. Like, oh, I can't afford my avocado toast. Shut the fuck up, you pansy. That's what I'd like to see with GTA 6.
Bullet in the back of the head.
Yep.
Yeah, Gaz, what was you saying?
I said like if you had like a Logan Paul or an Elon Musk stand-in.
Oh God,
that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
By the way, Liam said that it should be a GTA character, playable character. I'm more likely to be the guy who has his shop robbed. You know what I mean? Hello, sir. How you doing? Yes. Nice to see you again. No, please.
And here's the deal. I know people have brought up, what about like having Trevor, Michael, and Franklin come back? No. Let them be gone.
No, yeah. Stop harking back. Like, what is it with that fucking generation of millennials, man?
Yep.
Just want to cling on to shit. They're more scared of change than a person with autism, and that's actually offensive to people with autism because they're more open to change than fucking like millennials when it comes to certain properties.
And I guarantee,
like we sit here like talking about Kang in the MCU and what to do next. Like, just fucking recast him. What is this hang about what to do next? But I'm not going to divert on that. Yeah. Just say the next big thing with this is, Strauss Zelnick of 2K Games, another prick that says that the games just aren't pricey enough, considering your game literally is the most profitable form of entertainment of anything that's ever been made in the history ever. Okay, GTA 5 has ranked more in the box office than fucking any film you can imagine, any other game, song, music, show, whatever you want to think. It's the highest grossing thing ever made.
In the defense, when you pimp it out for every generation, of course it's going to make bank.
Of course,
because people have FOMO, like you just said. Yeah,
but people buying them fucking shark cards, and the thing is now is how much more egregious are they going to be with the micros in GTA 6? Is it going to be like full of fucking battle passes and and
I'm guaranteeing
more shit and
for the first time.
Hang on, Jose. More survivor based like elements, like in Red Dead 2, where you had to fucking eat and oil your gun and all this stupid shit that I fucking hated. But the thing is, the Simps are gonna lap it up. They'll be like, "Yeah, whatever. Here's my money. Fucking take my money. I ain't got GTA 6. Take my money." And then Rockstar are gonna be like, "We're not charging enough. Let's charge them more fucking money." And it just never ends.
Which leads me to my point. I think we're gonna get a deluxe edition of GTA 6 for the first time ever because they've never done that in a Grand Theft Auto game. They'll do that with this.
Yeah, of course we're gonna get deluxe edition, but it's more about the continuing.
I guarantee you, this game will come close to 200 quid in some editions. We're getting to that stage now where a game's going to cost the same as a fucking console, which is absolutely goddamn ridiculous. Regarding guns, by the way, I heard you could carry only 2 guns. I like that. I'm one of the few people who genuinely like that because Halo was one of the few games that I think was the first game that brought that in. You can only carry on so much, like you can only have 3 guns, a sidearm and 2 main guns. And I like that. I think that's a lot more smarter than having to click on your fucking wheel and decide what the fuck you want. And usually people tend to default to the same machine gun and the same fucking handgun, regardless. They have their personal favorites. So only having a couple of guns is good enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, let's see what they do with that. I think you're in the minority on that one for sure.
Fair enough.
But if they do that, they do that. Again, it's one of those games where it's just the anticipation of greed is more interesting for me than the actual game because I don't really care about it. GTA 4 was okay. I think it was a massive step back from San Andreas. Ballad of Gay Tony was the best of the DLC. It had a great storyline. GTA 5 I just hated because by the time when that came out for me, the gameplay mechanics were just so out of date that I just couldn't enjoy the thing. The multiplayer part was fun when you had a team of people. Like for a period when I was playing with Zam and all of them lot, like, you know, we had a good laugh with his cousins and Randy and all that. But if you're trying to do it on your own, it's just not fun.
Yeah, for me it was GTA 4 online. GTA 4 online was a fucking blast. That was cool
good fun. Yeah, and there was fuck all to do.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing to do. It was just going around killing each other, pretty much. But that was good fun. Yeah, teabagging people with a chopper.
I found 5 better than 4, just because cousin didn't follow up every 5 minutes saying, "Hey cousin, do you want to go to the
yeah.
Oh yeah, Roman, let's go
Roman. Fuck Roman. Yep. Yeah. I was so glad when he died. He did die in it, didn't he? Yeah.
If you pick the other ending, yes.
Yeah, I picked the one where he dies in it. Yeah. Roman.
Hey cousin, would you like to go and give me a blowjob?
Let's go bowling. Oh, fuck off. So
yeah, I want more like side activities as well. Like, I like the fact that you were able to play tennis and golf. You mentioned bowling. I would love for that to be in the game. Maybe pool as well. Like all these little activities that you can do. Table tennis. You fucking name it. A variety of sports.
Paintballing.
And I know this will fall on. I know this will fall on deaf ears. Stop making Grand Theft Auto realistic, for fuck's sake. Let's be able to do crazy shit again. Let's fly on jetpacks. Let's work out. Let's be invincible if we want to be invincible. Let us play the game how we want to fucking play the game.
I mean, Rockstar doesn't do fun. You're not allowed to have fun with a Rockstar game. Everything has to be, oh, you sneezed. Here's the police.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Well, as long as they don't follow the Red Dead Redemption route, because the realism in that really ruined the game. It really did.
Yeah, it did.
You know, feeding your horse, feeding yourself, cleaning your guns. Mm-hmm. Oh, I wouldn't mind actually. I wouldn't mind having like revolvers in GTA which you can fan like you could do in Red Dead. That would be fun.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be pretty cool. Like seeing the 6 bad guys, bang, 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 bang. Yeah,
and then I've got
all one shots.
I got a piece of news that's going to piss everybody off because this is absolutely not fucking needed. Last of Us 2 is coming to PS5. Fucking why? Besides greed, but fucking.
Oh, we knew that already. Yeah, I mean, fuck. Yeah, it's going to be broken.
You could already play the PlayStation 4 version.
Yep.
Yeah.
You played the PlayStation 4 version on PS5, couldn't you?
Yes, you can. Yep. But they're like, no, we're gonna. Yeah, fucking the studio's like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just re-release Last of Us instead of another fucking Jack and Dexter or another IP, maybe another Uncharted. I mean, you've got shit you could work with.
Yeah, I mean, there's doing remakes and then there's just fucking re-releasing shit that just takes the piss, and it's just ridiculous. Like there should be a limit, you know, self-imposed limit, because how the fuck do you police that kind of shit? But they should be like, all right, look, we'll bring it out for the new consoles once, and then that's it. But fucking just lazy cash-ins for cheap growth, and it's just fucking stupid, unsustainable idiocy. And then they blame everyone else but themselves for everything fucking up.
Yeah, why didn't it sell so well? Because you could get the PS4 version for a lot cheaper. That's why.
Exactly.
It didn't sell so well.
And it's going to be broken, just like the PC port was. It was absolutely broken. I think it was The Last of Us that they released on PC recently, and it was like a remaster, but absolutely broken piece of shit.
With Last of Us 1, I could give them a pass because I'm like, okay, it's been 10 years. That would make more sense. But with this one, it's like, no, it's been not even 4 years yet, and you're already re-releasing it. I'm like, you couldn't wait another decade to do that?
Yeah, just work on The Last of Us 3 if you're going to make that fucking game. Then do that. I don't. Again, it's a game with gameplay mechanics I can't fucking stand, with it constantly interrupted with cutscenes, and I just bollocks to The Last of Us games. I don't like them, but for everyone else, I know there's a huge fan base. So just, make the fans happy. Well, that's impossible with The Last of Us, but you're gonna piss some people off. You're gonna make some people love it. But it's just GTA 6. Let's see what fucking can of worms the Simps.
It's going to be very similar, in my opinion, to the GTA 5 first trailer we saw. If you guys remember that trailer.
Yep.
And even then we didn't get any characters or anything. We just got it was just indication of what the world was going to be like and what.
Yeah,
it
you
looked
heard
like and
Michael,
stuff like
but
that.
like you'll hear the main character, but you won't get to see
Yeah.
the main character. That's how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which all right. Moving on with gonna go into film and TV next. And I could bring up the Marvels. Have we all seen it now?
We've
Gaz,
all
have you
seen
seen
it.
it?
Have you seen
I
it?
haven't seen it, no. But it's
Yeah,
all right,
haven't seen
you guys can spoil it for me. I don't care.
All right, yeah, because there's not much to miss.
No,
Can
it's
you mind
fine.
you mind if I take this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Domestically, it was a huge fucking failure. As of now, I think it's only made domestically. I want to say around $112 million, or
In the
thereabouts.
US or worldwide?
Worldwide, it's only made that much. Like worldwide, it's only made like around $100-something million.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
domestic's
It's
53,
only made.
Hang on.
Yep.
Domestic is 53 million. International is 62 million. So
Okay,
collectively
so
116 and a half. Worldwide.
failed. It failed
That's
epically.
a
And
huge
like
flop. Massive flop.
there was a video that I put on Nerd Nation yesterday. I forgot the name of the guy's channel, but he was like, "Here's the deal. The reason why the Marvels bomb is because the strike kind of killed it. They couldn't promote it.
Yeah, I
the way
agree.
They wanted to.
Yeah.
It's fucking fatigue, and and they're not wrong. Fatigue. We've gotten too much Marvel, and it just sucks. People just don't give a shit about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they don't give a shit about the MCU for that matter either. So it's a combination of things as to why the Marvels ultimately fucking failed. But Iman Vellani, she's the one that my heart breaks for out of everybody involved in this movie, because she actually showed up to work.
Yeah, she fucking killed it.
Mhm.
Absolutely killed it.
I mean, like regarding like the term MCU, like we've had Ant-Man and we've had Guardians of the Galaxy, which are predominantly male,
Mhm.
featured characters and stuff. And this one was always kind of set up to be a female film, and I feel that's almost like a disservice to
Mhm.
call it the MCU. Like we had these characters already developed in television series as well as a movie, and them for coming together in a way was its own event. I think at the same time with things like Ms. Marvel not being that popular, people didn't want to invest themselves by watching the Marvels because they haven't probably seen Ms. Marvel, might not even seen WandaVision, and then what the fuck's going on. And plus with also Marvel films just recently not being that great, was, let's face it, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was okay, but okay is not good enough. Quantumania was shit.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, Ant-Man, apart from the first one, they've been shit. And so
well, that and Thor 4 being shit as well. It just and the MCU TV stuff being shit. It's just had the ball rolling. People have just
prior to Endgame, there have been some shit. There have been some, shit. MCU
Iron Man 3 was
films,
shit. Iron Man 3 was shit.
Yeah, I thought 4-2 wasn't that great. But look, regardless, they have, I think even I think prior to the Avengers, I think some of the earlier stuff wasn't, the first Avengers movie, like they were just run of the mill. Captain America, first Avenger, the first Thor movie, Hulk and all of that sort of stuff. They were okay, but they weren't great. Then Winter Soldier came along, and then the bar had raised after that. But regardless, I think you're right about the fatigue. I think it's a disservice when we have issues with women being the main character, because we should be better than that.
That was what he pointed out, the guy that I posted yesterday. I don't really necessarily feel it's too much of the MCU. I think for me, it's more so the fatigue and just the fact that, like I said a while ago, Disney's cranking out content for the sake of cranking out content. And it's like, okay, we get it, for fuck's sake.
And it's not good content. That's the problem. Like, it's not great content. It's not, I wouldn't say a caliber, because I'll be perfectly honest as well. Up until the Russos stepped in, with Endgame and Infinity War, everything was just becoming fucking generic anyway. After Guardians came out, see, Guardians was the worst thing to fucking happen to the MCU, because that film came out. It was a great film. I love the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. It's one of my favorite MCU films. But the problem is the fucking executives looked at that and just thought, that's it. Every film from now on is going to be exactly like that. It's going to have James Gunn style humor and writing, and that's what it's going to do. And it was only the Russos that kind of broke the monotony, because I was getting fed up before Infinity War came along. Like, for all the greats that we had, there was a lot that was just coming out. It was just generic pish, like the Ant-Man films. I don't like any of the three of them. I don't like any of them. Okay, and
Well-
yeah, like Ragnarok was just peak fucking comedy bollocks. Guardians 2 was dog shit, and a waste. Avengers 2, I fucking hate that film as well.
Don't sugarcoat
Or,
it, Ginger.
Yeah.
or Ultron.
I hate that film with a passion.
I didn't
because
like it at first, but in the overall scheme of things, it's
it was
better.
a waste. With Civil War,
No, I mean, I didn't like it at first, but now
Yeah.
when you see it as the jigsaw puzzle piece that it is, I have more appreciation for it. But
Well,
yeah, it's okay. It's just average.
But just the Marvels isn't the last Marvel product we're getting in 2023.
no, we've got
Well,
What If coming
what
up.
if?
Yeah, we've
that's
got
what
What
I'm
If.
saying.
Yeah, and
But listen. I just want to quickly say this before I forget this. The MCU is like drugs, and right now we're not suffering from withdrawal. We're overdosing.
Yep.
You know, and we're overdosing big time because we're getting so much shot in our fucking veins that we can't fucking handle it anymore, and we've got an immunity to it. What we need is that withdrawal, so that we're gagging for it when it comes back.
I
And
mean, like,
unfortunately, we're not getting that. We're getting Marvel every fucking day.
and I know this is a long shot, and I know you guys will agree. We know it's not going to happen, but I think on a plea on behalf of NerdTube, take a 2-year break, please. Give us 2 years off. Let it go away for a couple of years. Make us miss it, and then I promise you'll get us to come back. Because right now, I'm like, for the next couple of years, I'm like, Deadpool 3, like Ginger said, is going to make bank. I'm looking forward to that. But outside of that, I'm like,
Look, let's just hold
Hang
on.
on, Dan. I just want to quickly go to this comment.
Yeah.
I give up on Disney Plus. Haven't watched anything in almost a year. They wanted 50% price increase, so I let it all go. Yeah, I mean, I've got it at the moment, and I'm going to cancel it because I've got it for £3 a month for 3 months. And once that's done, it's over. I'm getting rid of it because they've jacked up the price, but they're not really giving me quality content. So what the fuck? And Netflix jacking up their price as well, and it's just like now, it's just no point to it anymore.
I'll give you Dixie's account because he was sharing from me, so you can just take his instead.
What's that one for?
For Disney Plus.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
But but back to my point, I think if you take it away for 2 years, make us miss it. We know they're not going to do this, but if they did it that way, I think you would get people back to Marvel. And like I said, connect the dots and give us more interesting characters. Stop giving us characters we don't give a fuck about. Just because you have the IP to said characters doesn't mean you need to use them. Because not everybody's going to care about certain characters.
Yeah, but right now, I am gagging for a Star Wars movie. Yeah, because we haven't had one. In the last one was absolute shit. Don't get me wrong. I know that. And the sequel trilogy is just shit generally. But regardless, I am ready now for a Star Wars movie.
I'll be honest with you. I don't care about Star Wars that much anymore. I really don't. Like, Andor was fantastic, but other than that, like, Ahsoka was a drag to watch, if I'm being honest.
Let me ask, was it kind of the same problem with Marvel? Too much of it? Kind of?
Garbage. Just garbage.
Okay.
The quality was trash. Absolute fucking trash. Like, they've churned out so much content and it's all been shit by 2 things. Rogue One and Andor. That's it.
Okay.
Like, Ahsoka was okay. Boba Fett was dog shit. Mandalorian is So
started well.
It started well and then went to shit really quickly. And it's just fucking, they're just absolute garbage. And these executives, they get to fucking keep their fucking job. And it's just frustrating. It's like, you're not doing a good job. You're pissing everyone off. And whose naked pictures do you have to keep this fucking job?
And then Disney wonders why their stock is going down. This is why.
I will say this though. I thought Loki was a return to form from the MCU.
Yeah,
I really thought season 2 knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, and one of the key reasons for that is because Tom Hiddleston is the executive producer of the show.
Yep.
And that's one of the keys. So you've got a man here who loves his character, has some sway, and just gave us a fantastic, just a phenomenal second series.
I think
Awesome.
Amon Vellani could do that if the Marvel season 2 came back. If they asked her, like, okay, what do you want to do? I think you'd probably get a good show out of Miss Marvel season 2.
Well,
If she
we're
had
watching
creative say in it.
double
Well, Miss
toasted.
Marvel needs to be more of a Young Avengers.
Yeah.
But when
I
we're watching
agree.
double toasted, they actually said that Ms. Marvel season 2 should have been the Marvels.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been, and I think they're exactly right with her adventuring from her perspective, because it was a little bit of her perspective, so to speak, in the Marvels film to a degree. You
Yeah,
know
to
what I
a
mean?
degree.
So in a way, her seeing it from her perspective, you know, with Photon and Captain Marvel, yeah, that
I mean,
would have
that as a
would have been
series
better.
would have been decent. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
if you would have made it a series instead of a movie, I think more people could have gave it a pass. They could have been like, okay, you know, you crank it out, you maybe make it like maybe 4 or 5 episodes. You got something pretty decent, and then you could still do the Beast thing, and then it's like, hey, motherfuckers, here's your confirmation. X-Men's coming into the MCU. Here it is. And
Yeah,
people
they won't get there till
Yep.
Secret Wars from the
But
looks
let
of
me-
it. But
Let me ask
Yeah.
y'all a question, because I
Yeah.
hear people say this as a critique. Do you think that the TV shows need to be separated from the movies?
No.
no,
No? Okay.
no, absolutely
You
not.
see it
No,
doing that,
connected
and-
universe should be connected.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if it's a good TV show, we'll invest, and it will make us want to go to watch the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the crossover stuff is always like interesting to kind of see.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, if
what
they
I
actually
want
do
for
cross over,
once-
because the only thing
Yeah.
I noticed with the crossover recently was the copper colored fucking Statue of Liberty, which was the same color as it was in Spider-Man No Way Home, which we saw in the Marvels, and they actually made it copper. If you watch Ms. Marvel again, when you see the Statue of Liberty in that, they've changed it now from green to copper color as well.
They
So
just
that's
need
the
to.
only bit of continuity.
So it sounds like
Yeah.
we're all saying the same thing. They just need to connect the dots better, and
Yeah,
they need to fucking,
way more connection, dude.
and they need to give
Way
Zam
more
what
connection.
they need to give Zam what he wants with the fucking Eternals with the thing sticking out in space. We're
God,
not going
I
don't
to
need
get
get.
him
that.
started on that.
Yeah,
Jesus
we're not-
Christ.
I
I just
Well,
let me just talk about like
Yeah.
Miss Marvel. I think that the season 2 would be awesome if it's her going around just recruiting young Avengers. Like,
agree.
let her
Agree.
take on the Nick Fury roles. Like, who cares? Like, Nick Fury's a fucking joke in this universe now. I can't stand the prick. I want him dead. Just send him off. Completely useless. I wasn't
Yeah.
a big fan of it. Nick Fury in all of these anyway. Just in a handful of things like Winter Soldier, he was good and
Mhm.
things like that. But yeah, if she's going around just finding other superheroes now that she's got all the information and starts a young Avengers team, that'll probably draw bumps to the seats.
Some of them I'd like to see it be where like she's like, hey, you know, nice to meet you, and then they tell her fuck off, and then it's like, okay, well, I wanted you to join my team. Fuck off. I don't want to fight and join your team. I want to fight you instead. And then it's like, okay, if you beat my ass, then I'll join your team. And then she has to fight them to get them to join the team. That would be
Sure,
kind of
whatever it takes.
Well, we can see that in post-credit scenes for all the upcoming movies. You know, so
Mm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
well,
want that in the series. Otherwise, what's the point of watching Miss Marvel season 2?
Yeah,
are they
Nothing
gonna
else
do
is going to be
season two?
appealing. Yeah, they are doing a season 2.
they are doing a season 2.
Yeah, but it has to be, and I reckon that's what it is. I reckon it's her going around recruiting other people, because that's what we saw in the. Not even it was at the end of the film, wasn't even the post-credit scene.
But I want to see like some top-tier Avengers, man. I want to see like like I said, I want to see more of this connective tissue.
Mm.
You know,
Well, we will with the young Avengers now.
I would love her to meet Clint Barton or Sam Wilson. You know, like the more the grounded superheroes, or even bump into fucking Spider-Man. You know, and Peter Parker. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
They could do that.
They could do that.
Yeah.
They could do that. They could do fucking. They
But
could do anything. They could have Daredevil in these.
Question
You
is
know.
can they just fucking fix their writing to make us give a shit? Because that's
Well-
our main critique.
I think Zab actually had a really good idea about this, which was
I think they're working on the zombies, Liam.
They are.
live action.
Animated.
No,
No.
Oh, animated. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I think Zab had a really good idea about this a while ago, which is that instead of giving us all these heroes, give us a villains series. Or
Yeah, I
something
want
like
more
that. I know
villains.
we've
Oh
had
yeah,
okay,
God yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Doctor
I want
Doom
the
writes
Dr.
it
Doom.
fucking self, man. It
Yeah,
writes
exactly.
itself.
Dr.
But they're going to
Doom,
bring him in such a stupid way. Like it's just going to be frustrating.
I
But
would
it writes
trade-
itself.
I would trade Agatha for Doctor Doom in a heartbeat. I really
Me
would.
too.
Yeah.
If I had it my way, I'd get rid of Agatha and be like, let's give Doom his own series instead, because people ain't gonna really care about
Who would you?
Agatha. all
Who
that
would you
much.
cast as Doom?
Well,
though?
Well, look. I'll get to that. I heard Javier Bardem was going to be
Yo.
was going.
Yo,
Hello there,
Christine.
Chris.
Hell,
I heard Javier Bardem was going to be Galactus, but I think Javier Bardem would be a great Doctor Doom,
I
in
can
my
see that.
opinion, for sure.
Let's do that.
Are y'all pissed off that Pedro Pascal is going to be Mr. Fantastic now?
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. It's fine. If they're
It's
going
a-
OAPF4,
it's a clever. It's a very intelligent move by Disney to make him that, in my opinion, because it's going to get everyone on board
Yep.
for sure. You know, he's
Hey,
hot
guys.
stuff right now.
Hey,
He's
Yeah.
sizzling.
Hey, Christine.
Hey, Chris.
What do you guys think of that singer Ren playing a supervillain?
Who? Ren? Spell that?
Don't you think he'd make a good supervillain?
I don't know who that is. Spell it.
Who the hell is Ren?
Oh my god.
yeah, we are musically illiterate.
Yeah, just spell it
Okay.
for me and I can Google it.
Yeah.
REN. That's the
REN.
artist name. He does sing, he raps. Start with the song Hi Ren, HI space REN.
Oh, no, no.
It's-
God, no. He's too much of a twink to fucking play Doom.
Fuck.
No.
You know who I would get to play as Kang if they're going to recast Jonathan Major? The guy that's going to
Rap,
play
Hunger, Murder.
the guy that's going to play Manta in one of
Yeah,
the
that's what I
DC
said.
films.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
we lost Christine.
Oh,
Oh,
she'll
don't worry,
come back.
Christine. Sometimes this app might kick you out as well because it's
Okay.
temperamental.
I
The
would get
reason I said that
Oh, go ahead.
was in High Ren, you can really see his acting ability and facial expressions. And the Money Game Part 3. So definitely Money Game Part 3 if you're only going to watch one. And you'll see what I mean when I say he could play a villain.
I mean, I would have been if he's got good acting chops, would be good as a villain, but not a Doctor.
He's got a bit of a Killian Murphy look to him. Is this the guy?
Yeah, it looks like Killian Murphy.
Ren Gill.
Yeah.
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 He could play something. I'm sure there
Could play
is
something.
a. I mean, I can imagine him playing Scarecrow in the DC universe
Yeah.
because of Killian
Oh,
Murphy.
he'd be great as what's his name from the X-Men? Is it Quinton? Let me see.
Yeah, he could definitely play an X-Men for sure.
Quentin Quire from the X-Men. Google that.
Well,
Quentin.
by the way,
Quentin. I'll just get a picture of him. Fuck it.
Well, by the way, rumors are regarding the rest of the Fantastic Four is the guy who plays, is it Milo or Macro in Punisher, the guy in the chair character.
Yeah,
He's gonna be Ben Grimm, and the guy from Stranger Things, season 4.
yeah. I keep hearing a lot of stupid shit ideas for this Fantastic Four stuff. That it just seems just a lot of bollocks. If I'm being honest.
Is that the actor from The Walking Dead, guys?
No,
idea.
no, not him, but the one who played the guitar from Hell and did the guitar riff before he died.
fucking
Eddie.
Eddie, yeah, the rocker.
Yeah, he might be the human.
And that's not a bad
'Cause
shout.
I know what's his name from The Walking Dead?
See,
did
look.
the Punisher.
It'll be good as that guy Quentin, who's in Omega 11 Mutant, and he's a fantastic character in the comic books. A complete shithead who could easily pass as either a villain or a good guy. Sorry,
Or
Christine, you were saying?
anti-hero.
Yeah, anti-hero. Yeah.
But Tank Girl, they should make that over.
Oh, really?
Jay Underwood is going to be playing. Wait a minute.
Great film.
Jay
Great
Underwood
comic
is
book as well.
Jay Underwood is Johnny Storm. Huh. Don't know if I buy that.
I don't know. Nothing's confirmed yet, so take everything with
spruce it up, you know.
take everything with a pinch of salt.
Grain of salt. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh no, that was the 1994 movie. What the fuck?
I was going to say, like, he played.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already done the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I'm trying to find like the modern one, so that way, if there's anything revealed about it. If they've said anything at all, which I don't know if they have yet.
Nothing
Well,
yet.
the
The only
actress who's
big,
playing Sue Storm, I think they casted perfectly with her, and she's
but
stunning.
that's not been
yeah.
confirmed yet either. Nothing's been confirmed.
Well, she's playing the game of like not giving anything away, like because people have been asking her, and she's been very vague about it. You know. So
They even have a fucking relationship with Sue Storm and Reed Richards in this, because no, Disney's like with relationships. They're very prudish.
Well, I don't, Vanessa Kirby and played Pedro Pascal. You might as well
look,
the Soul Soldier.
I want their relationship to be like not like in the first Fantastic Four, that will they, won't they? I want their relationship to be established. They are already husband and wife.
Too. Yeah,
And it's not like fucking Reed is trying to get into fucking Sue's pants. Like they've already done the fucking deed, and now they're just a couple. And I want that to be the fucking case.
Yeah, don't Peter Parker. Don't origin story Peter Parker. And it's like, we already know they're I already want them to be known as a Fantastic Four. And what I want them to be like said before they're revealed. Like I want the Fantastic Four by name to be revealed before we actually see them come up.
I don't want to have another romance novel, layout where it's first they meet, they don't like each other, then they kiss, and then they have a fight, and then they, knock boots. And that's like the standard form of every romance novel. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, you just described everything my mum watches on Amazon. Right. Big city girl goes into the small back home, and the homely guy's gonna make her not be stuck up, and they fight and all this kind of. Then they
I've got
bang.
it down. I've got it down way better than that. Sorry, man. It's successful big city girl who has it all, goes to her hometown, then figures out because a man shows her that what she wants deep down in her heart is to have a family and
That's right.
Christmas decorations and sell them from a boutique shop on her hometown main street.
That's what it's in the Bible. The boutique shop. It's in Leviathan. So it has to be done.
That was sweet. That was the story for Sweet Home Alabama, wasn't it?
That's the story for every Hallmark film.
Hook. That's their hook. It's not me talking down at men, right? That's
Hollywood for you.
Formula.
That's just Hollywood, mate.
That's Hollywood for you.
Talking down at men, that's all. It's just
yeah.
It's speaking of chicks in the big city, we had the Madam Web trailer hit. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Oh
Lord!
I
Have you seen the trailer, Chris?
What's that?
For Madam Web.
No, I haven't yet.
Save yourself 5 minutes.
So Madam Web is basically another character from within the Spider-Man universe, and it's a spin-off basically from that. So Sony obviously milking the property.
I asked
all the side characters other than Spider-Man.
Do you think this is a film for somebody to hold on to rights?
What? Well, of course they have to produce a film every 4 years, otherwise they lose the rights.
Yeah, they're going to milk it. I mean, dude,
they're being milked as we're seeing it right now.
They'll do anything.
But this one, this one isn't about holding on to the rights. This one is just milking the shit. After the success of Disney Spider-Man, they're just going to milk the fuck out of this. And I want to make it clear that, like, you could tell that there's a big difference between what Sony produces and what fucking.
Oh God, you're gonna make us watch the trailer, aren't you?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, but we're gonna have to talk over it because it's got Billie Eilish in it. But yeah,
okay.
All right, wake me up when it's over.
Are you ready?
Press play.
Ready.
Oh God, I hate when they do this, when they show everything at the beginning of the fucking trailer. Right.
Trailer intro pissed me off.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
Come on, get your stuff. Let's go.
Black Power Ranger.
It starts already.
What was that movie with Nicolas Cage and
Next?
The one where you can go back and he sees the future all the time.
It was called Next.
Yeah. As soon as I saw this happen, that's the vibe I got.
I mean, the only reason somebody
spent my life racing against time
is because it's got attractive women in maybe
trying to save people who were running out of it.
Yeah.
Until one moment,
Bye-bye.
changed everything.
So apparently, the other paramedic friend of us is Ben Parker.
land of the living.
That's Ben Parker.
I
Okay.
don't understand what's happening.
I've been having visions.
But this is a prequel of
So
sorts.
this is going to
I
be
knew
like
he
a
was gonna
prequel.
die.
I think I'm seeing the future.
And so the guy that she's fighting is
City's a
probably
whole
there
new
to
level
kill
of crazy
baby
these
Peter
days.
Parker or some stupid shit like that.
I know at first when I saw this guy, I thought it was Jason Schwartzman.
New York City's a whole
See, that
new
woman
level
looks like
of
Madam
crazy
Web.
these days.
Yeah,
With the
well,
This is an
newspaper.
emergency.
Could be.
Get off the train.
That's
That man's trying to kill you.
What?
Who are you? What is going on?
coming soon to the CW.
I can see the future. What the hell? She didn't see that coming? That's not how it works.
God, they all look like they're gonna get knocked off by
I've
a guy
seen
with a
that man
machete.
before.
Yeah, they do,
Ezekiel
innit?
Sims.
Suddenly it becomes
He was
like
in the
Jason
Amazon
versus
with my
Spider
mom
Chick.
when she was researching
My
spiders right
silent
before
hit.
she died.
Wait, I recognize you. You live in my building.
You're the paramedic.
Yeah, you almost ran me over.
Oh, the hot nerdy girl with pictures of
You don't think this
glasses.
is weird? How we're all connected?
It's almost like it's a web.
Natured,
Honestly,
isn't it?
like the least weird thing that's happened all day.
I like the idea of an evil Spider-Man, by the way. This Ezekiel
you can
character,
see into the future.
I'm all for that. But this looks
He's
shit.
trying to change what happens.
I mean, look, it's like, let's get serious. It's really it is like, they're out there.
Oh, because
Your
they can't
future
keep
was
talking because of the
almost so
fucking
different.
Yeah.
goddamn music.
I like the evil
Yeah.
You have to
Spider-Man.
trust me. Marie.
Yeah, I mean, Ezekiel was more of a
Concept.
mentor in the comics than a bad guy. So,
Now!
But you know, that could twist things. I'd rather they change it and make him an evil Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Much more better. And
Maybe
like,
a little.
what it was in the comics apparently is that there was this entity that kills people with spider powers. So this Ezekiel character gets Peter Parker and puts him in a position where he'll get killed by the entity with spider powers. So that entity then would leave Ezekiel
yeah,
alone.
it was the
So to a
energy
degree,
draining
he-
vampires.
Yeah, so
but
he's
they're not
evil
gonna-
to that.
Yeah, they're not going to
It's
put the
evil
vampires
enough.
in there after Morbius flopped.
Okay, so what they'll do, this one looks like it'll be one of those that will just go down. I could see it being like, let's just crank it out.
Yeah.
It'll make what it makes, and then we're never going to talk about it again. That's going to be Madam Web.
Yeah, Christine, what are your thoughts? It looks amazing, isn't it?
Acting, I must say, I give it a 10 out of.
yeah, yeah.
Get off the thing. There's an emergency.
Oh, just about hear you. Let me put your mic
That
up.
was one of her lines, and that's how she said it. It's like, why would you, it's an emergency, but you're gonna say, "Get off the train. There's an emergency."
Well, you know, Dakota Johnson's awesome acting skills there put to the test, as you can see.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Way.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this and Craven coming out, it's just, they both look, they're just very Sony like. And it's just, again, we have terrible executive producers at Sony. They just don't care. They're just like, just get it out, just churn it out. Here's a blueprint. Don't care. Their mentality.
Stick
It's
to animation.
Yeah, the mentality is stuck around that Daredevil era. You know, the fucking Daredevil that came out in the mid 2000s. That shite. That's what these kind of Sony films remind me of. That kind of level of crap. And it's just a waste. You know, you're not.
That they
You're not-
make so much money.
Christine, I could barely hear you.
What?
I could barely hear you.
They know that they'll
There
make,
we go.
so much, at least this amount of money with a film. So let's put it out. Shit or not, we'll make this much. We can, forecast this income. So let's just pump them out. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
And now
perfect
that
now.
I wanted to add too onto your point. Now that the strike is over, it's going to make more than the Marvels because they're going to promote the fuck out of it,
I don't
like
think
they
it's
couldn't
gonna
do with
make
the
money.
Marvels. It's going to make money,
Yeah.
but not like crazy money.
I don't think it'll make anything. I really don't. I think you mentioned we talked about the fatigue and stuff like that. People can see this film is bad. You got would it be people from my side of the spectrum or other sides of spectrums, like the fandom menace lot who find bad in everything anyway. this looks shit for everybody. And there's nobody I've come across who thinks this looks good. And I think the film is going to fucking bomb hard. What's the budget for a movie like this? What, 50 million? Possibly.
Possibly.
No, it won't be less than 100-something million.
It doesn't look like 100 million.
Your microphone, Christine. I think you're covering it.
Okay, I wasn't covering it. It's just my shit phone. I'm just saying that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
$75 million.
I just don't like being this close with my face right in there. But
That's
all
all
I'm
right.
saying is that there are enough people out there that will go, whether it's shit or not. They're just that cult
Yeah.
following.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I just think that demographic of people is not enough to make this film succeed.
If it gets 200 million, it's broken even.
Yeah. They're gonna
The marketing
do-
budget and all of that.
here's
So
what I
I don't think
predict.
it could do better than the Marvels.
Here's what I predict. It's gonna make more than the Marvels, but it's still
Really?
gonna bomb. It's still gonna bomb. Yeah. It'll make, because the reason why they can market it better now that the strike is over, because with the Marvels they couldn't do that. They couldn't go out of their way to promote it.
Look,
like they
Look, we
wanted
already
to.
had from the Sony MCU, we already had Carnage bombed. We already had Morbius bombed. Yeah, they've been relying so much on Venom. Which, by the way, those films.
Hang on.
Those are,
I think Venom 2 made money, didn't it?
no, I never said Venom 2 didn't, but they relied so much on those films, and those films are shit anyway. Yeah, but with what's come afterwards have bombed. This Kraven the Hunter is not going to do too well in my opinion. I think, and so, same with Madam Web. I think obviously you're going to get it's hardcore fan base who are going to follow this off a cliff like a fucking lemming.
Yeah.
But I think if people haven't gone to see the Marvel, which I think the reach for that, regardless of the strikes, is far wider than this shit, then I think they're definitely not going to watch this shit.
No, I mean, look at people's reaction when they saw Kraven. Now, Kraven is quite a well-known character, and it looks like such a big pile of dog shit that even that people are like, no, not gonna fuck this.
Yeah.
Who's
dare
James
you-
Van Der Beek playing TLD?
I was just going to do my Russell Crowe impression, saying, how dare you say that?
How dare you? How dare you
look,
say that?
Look, but the thing is, like Kraven and Venom portrayed superbly in Spider-Man 2, the video game. Like Venom, I've never seen Venom. Like Venom recently, they've anti-hero the fuck out of him, and I don't like that. They made him a proper
he's
villain.
been an anti-hero since the 90s, mate.
Yeah, but they made him a proper villain in Spider-Man 2. He was no anti-hero in that. He was evil as fuck, and he done a lot of evil things. And I really, really appreciated the route they went down with him in that. And obviously, Kraven the Hunter, they gave him a really good story arc as well. And they were the best portrayals I've ever seen of those characters, in my opinion. Venom in Spider-Man 2 was the best Venom I've ever seen. Honestly, it really is. And same with Kraven.
Yeah,
So,
fair.
Well, I'm not surprised. Again, like gameplay aside, with that, the character portrayals and the storylines are always solid in those Spider-Man games. But I think it's the fact that look, there isn't a Spider-Man in these films, and there should be a Spider-Man in these films. Like even if it's Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in
It's
these
something.
universe,
It's something.
it's
Yeah.
something. Or they bring in live action Miles fucking Morales or whatever. But lack of Spider-Man, and I'm talking about Kraven as well. I'm not just talking about the Madam Web stuff. Because if Madam Web looked good, it could have garnered interest because you have other spider characters in there. But the fact that it just looks crap, it's just a huge.
It had a
turn-off
good
for people.
concept. It didn't look good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The concept is great, but yeah, the look is just terrible.
Yeah, good idea,
Yeah.
bad execution type of
Yeah.
thing. Yep.
So that's the issue. And again, it just paints it like they'll start using every excuse in the book after it flops. They'll start blaming God knows what. And it's like, no, the film just sucks. And when Kraven flops, what's their excuse going to be for that? Morbius flopped. What was their excuse for that? But
Yep.
Sony never learns. They just never. Avi Arad and Amy Pascal, the two big executives of that studio, are absolute garbage. Avi Arad is why Spider-Man 3 was a fucking pile of shit. Because Sam Raimi didn't want Venom in that film, and Avi Arad insisted on having Venom in that fucking film. And that's why it just ended up being a flustercluck.
You still could have done the black suit, and then you could have saved Venom for the very end of the movie, just been like,
You could have put him for
"Hey, I want
Spider-Man
my
4.
suit." Yeah, hey,
Yeah, you could have
I
put
want
him
my
in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, give me my symbiote back, and that's how
Yeah.
it could have went.
You know, I mean, Raimi had, like, some of us had issues with Raimi anyway because he never wanted Venom.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, how are you gonna go to Spider-Man 4 and have Vulture as the fucking villain? Like, who gives a shit about Vulture?
Mm.
You know, in Spider-Man 4, if they had made it, it should have been the one with Venom in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Spider-Man 3 would have been
Yeah.
fine with Hobgoblin and fucking Sandman.
Yep.
You know, Christine, yeah.
Who did the best Spider-Man in your opinions?
Tom Holland for me.
I'm
I
gonna
love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think
Yeah,
it's
I'm
the
gonna
best
say Tom.
trilogy.
I'm gonna say Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I never really thought of that because I have no issue with any of them. You
Yeah.
know,
They were all great. in their
They're
own
all
way.
good,
Yeah.
like, but the best one was Tom Holland. Andrew Garfield was just unfortunate that his films sucked.
Yeah.
I would say Garfield just because he was a great Spider-Man in just not very good Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Again,
I get it.
like the difference in performances between the three is like, you know, marginal.
Yeah.
How about you, Christine? Who would you say was your favorite?
I'm horrible with actors' names, but the guy who, when he was younger, when he was a child, he was in that movie about dancing. British guy.
Oh yeah, Andrew Garfield.
Oh, is that his name? Okay, that's
yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite.
Okay.
Andrew
Okay,
And
I've
no
got
disrespect
I've
to
got my
Toby.
favorite.
Yeah.
I've got my favorite, and I'm you know everyone goes on about who the greatest Batman is, and it's Kevin Conroy. Well, then, in my opinion, Yuri Lowenthal is the best Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Is that the one from the game?
Yep.
That's the one from the game. That's one from the cartoons
Yeah.
as well, the '90s cartoons
Okay.
and the game. You know,
Okay.
Yuri
Oh, fair
Lowenthal
enough.
for sure.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
I mean, when people say who's the best Joker, for me, I always say Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
that's his
the-
role.
If
His
if
role.
it's animation form, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
It's still Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if you include animation.
Yeah, if you include animation, it's going to be
Still
Yuri
Tom
Lowenthal.
Holland for me, but yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think Ren could be a Joker, and Scarecrow, but Joker, I'd love to see him play the Joker.
Yeah, I mean, the Joker is at the moment. Oh, it's that Irish actor who was in the Eternals as well.
Well, Barry Keoghan.
That's the one, Barry Keoghan. Thank you, guys. But yeah, that Ren guy could easily do a Scarecrow. Could do a
Well,
Riddler. Oh, we've
yeah.
had Riddler.
Yeah, we did.
Shit, we already had Riddler. in the
Well,
Batman.
apparently the next one they're going to do is going to be King Croc and somebody else. I can't remember who somebody else is.
Was it King Croc? I thought it was Clayface.
No, it is. It's Clayface.
Clayface. Yeah, I'm actually liking the fact that they're doing these particular guys because you don't need to initially do like the proper, more recognized Rogues Gallery characters and then start filtering out to the less recognized ones. I'm glad we're getting people like Clayface in the second Batman film.
Yeah,
and maybe down
Just
the
have
line,
the
you could
recognized
do-
ones
yeah.
there.
Have they said
could do-
anything about the
yeah.
Bat? Have they said anything about the Batman 2? Like, is it still going to be planned for another couple of years from now, as far as coming out?
I have no idea now. Now we're in the James Gunn era.
Ah,
So
Well,
God knows.
we've
The
got the
next thing
Penguin
coming out is
series.
Superman. Huh?
The Penguins. Remember the Penguin series is also coming out with Colin
Oh
Farrell.
yeah.
oh yeah,
point.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm-
that
I'm
looks
very much
good.
looking forward- That looks really good.
That looks good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, the trailer
Yeah.
for that looked awesome.
yeah.
And Blue Beetle finally hit HBO Max, so now that I can finally watch it, but I might skip that one too. I don't know yet. I haven't totally
Yeah,
decided
watch
if
it.
I want to watch it.
Watch
Okay.
it.
Give it a watch. All right.
I think they're
Remember,
keeping
don't
the
forget to watch
character.
Hawkeye for Christmas.
Yeah, I think they're keeping Jolo anyway, the actor
Okay.
to play Blue Beetle. So obviously they knew that film was going to flop, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. They might just keep him and just bring him into the James Gunn universe or have that universe be part of it and fix it in
Yeah,
this
that-
era.
that film could easily be part of the James Gunn universe. And, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and to be honest, yeah, I am quite kind of excited for what James Gunn is going to do to the DC universe. I know that you're not a big fan of it, but I just like the fact that there is more creative vision behind DC now.
Oh,
It's
Ginger
not-
loves James
I felt-
Gunn.
No,
I
the thing is,
felt-
yeah, as long as he doesn't take control of all the projects and has the projects be exactly how he wants them and allows a creative freedom, but insists on a more unique take on everything rather than cut and paste generic shit that Wagamama or whatever the fucking previous executive producer was called had, which was just churn out generic shit. He was the fucking worst. He was. And as long as he allows the creative freedom and just says, look, don't make it cut and paste shit, gets in good right. Look, James Gunn, I'm not a fan of his. I think his writing sucks, but I'm hoping he knows like good writers that could bring a more unique take on characters within the DC, because if they bring out generic stuff, they're fucked. Because it doesn't matter which era. Yes, Christine.
That's why I'm so glad Deadpool took 10 years, because he didn't want to compromise. He wanted to have the artistic license to do it the way he wanted to do it.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Yeah. And who's TLD?
The TLD. Oh, he's just one of our regulars.
I want to say thanks for putting Tom Holland on there. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Cheers, TLD. I'll make love to you later. Yeah, sorry, Christine. What was you saying?
Oh, that's it. I'm glad Deadpool didn't get spoiled,
that's
and
right.
I'm glad they waited 10 years because Ryan Reynolds was like, no, I'm not doing it until I can do it my way.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with Deadpool 3 and how it integrates from Fox over to the MCU. That's going to be the most interesting transition I think they've made in the MCU yet since Venom and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think
happened.
that's the only multiversal thing. After the disappointment of the multiversal part of Doctor Strange, I think this one is going to be the multiversal thing that people are intrigued with because it's two familiar characters that are loved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
the
so
Wolverine. Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine. You know, they'll probably
Hugh
have the
Jackman
other
Wolverine.
X-Men in there. Yeah, so people are definitely gonna go. I mean, look what happened with Days of Future Past. I can't stand that fucking film, but because again, it just reverted back to the old characters, and people flocked. And it was the highest grossing X-Men film because it's like, oh, it's a return of the old characters that we didn't fucking like originally that much, but they're back now, so we'll go and watch
No,
it.
but it was very well done. You know, it was really cleverly done. I mean,
Yeah, it
all
was
that
fine, you know.
ram-packed in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, I give them credit for what they pulled off. It was a good job.
Yeah, I just didn't like Bryan Singer returning. Like, I wanted Matthew Vaughn to carry on his series, and they killed off everyone from his film, and just it was like, well, most of the characters from his film, just unceremoniously fucking seen dead on a piece of paper, and that pissed me off. Because First Class is the best X-Men film for me. I thought it was great. It embodied the '60s vibe. It was just really good, but. Nevertheless, the point is, people are going to want to see Deadpool and Wolverine together now. So, yeah, I'd love to see. I know this is silly, but I would love to see Fox's Hulk in that film.
That would be the funniest
Eric
thing of all
Bana.
time.
Yeah, Eric Banger come back, just for shits and giggles.
I haven't seen Eric Banner in anything recently. When
Nah,
was the last time
he's just not doing much.
Has he
He's
gone back
he's
to
in
stand-up
Australia
comedy
driving
again?
trucks. Huh?
As I said, he's gone back to doing stand-up comedy again. He's a stand-up
stand-up
comedian.
comedian?
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
know
why
that.
he's such a good That's why he's such a good actor.
All that,
Yeah.
like I said, for fan service, all that has to happen in Deadpool for me, he has to take the piss out of Spider-Man. If we don't get that, I will be upset. I'm like, he has to take the piss out of Peter Parker once he arrives to the MCU, because that's all I want.
Yeah.
Is that he just shows
That'd
up
be
and
good.
be like, he just shows up and he rips on Tom Holland like, you little Brit looking fuck, why are you here? This is my universe. I'm Deadpool, damn it. It's all about me.
And
I don't need
I
to show
love
the
Tom
spotlight.
Holland, but you're right. Deadpool taking the piss out of anyone
Yeah.
would be awesome.
It has
And
to
Tom
happen.
Holland-
He's got to take the piss out of somebody in the MCU.
Well, he's gonna be going after Wolverine big time. So
Yep.
like, I mean, that's gonna be his main target.
You
so,
motherfucker, you motherfucker, you had to go and die and up the ante in one of the movies. You had to
No,
go.
they're not going to go that. By the way, they said that they're not going to mention.
Yeah, it's a different
Logan.
timeline. It's a different
Yeah,
timeline.
they're not going to mention Logan. They will honor Logan by not mentioning it.
Yeah, that's
No,
the best
maybe-
thing to do. The best thing they could
Yeah.
do is take the piss out of the X-Men Origins Wolverine film as
Yeah.
well.
Motherfucker, this is for
Just
making
want
me
to
show my
point out
mouth shut.
that Wolverine, Canadian, Ryan Reynolds, Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn fucking MC Canada, you.
Yep.
That's all we need now, eh?
Yeah, you
Well, it's
bet-
good to see that like the majority of these top tier superheroes are played by actors who are not American. So
Hugh
because
Jackman's Australian. Tom Holland's
Spider-Man,
British.
Spider-Man's have been British, Batman's have been British, Superman was British. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm fucking loving it.
Oh, and Superman is hot. My
The new one.
God. The Brit one, the guy with
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Yeah.
That's right. Every woman wants to be in him. No, wait, that's wrong. The other way around.
Well,
Every man
not
wants to
me,
be him,
'cause-
and every woman wants to be with him, and every gay man wants to be
well,
with him.
I'm asexual,
pretty.
but I can appreciate hotness.
All right.
He
He's a beautiful
apparently
bastard.
he got like people like proper turned on when he built a PC. He did that on YouTube. He like put
I was
together
throwing
a
my
P-
knickers at him when he did that. I was
and,
like, oh my
like,
god, he's amazing. Now I
like,
showed
he
my
also
brother
likes-
that.
he likes
Yeah.
like video games and like Warhammer and stuff like that. And the
Yeah.
guy's got fucking biceps bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
You know?
and he's antisocial as well, so he just kind of stays in his room, and it's just like this guy just ticks all the boxes. We are the same. There is no difference between us,
Yep.
except everything.
He goes to the gym, but he's probably got a gym in his house.
Yeah. That's the only difference. He goes to the gym, I don't. You know.
Yeah.
And
I
he
just
has
hope he
more
doesn't get too big, because when someone gets too big, it's just you look like you've been stung by too many bees and you're on roids. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunate
There's a
when
limit to
they
that,
get
too.
carried away.
Yeah, there's definitely a limit.
I think no. I think he's in his 40s now. I don't think he's going to be getting any bigger than what he is.
No.
Nope.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I remember when I told my brother that, oh, he's a huge Warhammer nerd. He's like, yeah, I know. That's why I like him. I was like, "You fucking nerd. Sweet. Okay, well, that's everything to do with film and TV. We are moving on to the fun part of the show, the politics side of it. Okay, I'm gonna start with P. Diddy. Anyone heard about P. Diddy?
Oh
And-
God, what do you do now?
Okay, so his ex Cassie, I don't know if people know Cassie, she had one famous song.
Yeah, the year
Yeah.
I graduated high school, that song came out. And
That's
that was
it.
like it. Yeah.
She can't sing for shit, but she was hot as hell. And anyway, she was like in a relationship with Diddy. Like he snagged her when she was really young. I think she was like 20, 21. And basically, she's come out and made a host of accusations against him, very similar to your typical abusive kind of relationship, controlling. Think of R. Kelly minus the being locked in the house stuff.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this is the first time Diddy's been accused of shit like this.
No, I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
She's like, she was seeking like $30 million to kind of stop her releasing like a tell-all book and all this kind of stuff behind the scenes. Before she mentioned that, Diddy tried to settle everything with an 8-figure sum, and she's like, "Nah, fuck this. I'm just gonna tell the story. It needs to be told." And this is where we are at the moment. So Diddy's obviously been accused of like rape, assault, sex trafficking, being abusive, controlling, all this kind of shit. Like your typical kind of narcissistic sociopath in a relationship. Yeah, Christine.
I'm just gonna say, like, if she didn't take the money and she's releasing the book, she holds more water for me. Because if she just was doing this for money, obviously she'd take the money and run 8 figures. Come on. But isn't P. Diddy the same guy who was filmed in an elevator beating on his wife's sister?
No, that was Jay-Z.
That was Jay-Z that
Sorry.
did that.
And Jay-Z was getting beaten up by the sister. It was the other way around.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're right.
That happened. I had no idea.
yeah,
Fucking
that but the issue, so obviously, like with Cassie, she doesn't need the money. She's married to a billionaire, and so you got to think of it this way: she can happily go and live her life. She's got 2 kids, and just go and snake away and live with a billionaire husband, do nothing. But the fact that, despite the comfortable life that she's living, she's coming out and saying, "Fuck it, I'm still going to tell my story. I still want people to know what he's like." I still think that's a great thing because she doesn't need to do it.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to do it. But the fact
And she's gonna get shit on for it.
Oh yeah, it's
So-
happening regardless.
Yeah. she's gonna get
All women do,
absolutely shit on. And
unfortunately.
before we get into that, like, this isn't the first time Diddy's been accused. He's been accused. Every single artist that has been under Diddy is accused of just being like exploited and then dumped after like an album, withholding money, rights, not paying people properly, and all this kind of shit. And recently, he was like, he was gonna say, "Look, I'll give people all the songs, all the rights to their songs, but they have to sign an NDA, so they can't talk about what a piece of shit Diddy is." And he's just got a long history of being like a woman before Cassie came out and accused him of the same kind of stuff. And when you see this, it doesn't take much to start, thinking, okay, there needs to be an investigation into this. Like, the guy's like really powerful. He was like Kid Cudi, the rapper Kid Cudi.
Mhm.
He threatened to blow up his car because he was in a relationship with Cassie, and then he blew up his fucking car. And Kid Cudi's the one that's mentioned it. So he's a complete
Wait.
psycho. Yeah.
What? Kitty blew up the car, or
No.
Kid Cudi blew up.
P. Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car, or had somebody blow it up. You're
I
covering your
also-
mic, by the way.
I also have a theory too. I slightly have to disagree with you saying like, "Oh, everybody left." B.I.G., if y'all remember, Notorious B.I.G. used to beat on women too, but we don't talk about that.
Well,
But
we should
yeah,
talk about it.
Yeah,
We
but
should talk about it.
he kept him. I mean, Notorious B.I.G. used to beat the fuck out of like his girlfriend.
No, I'm
back
not
in the
saying
day.
Diddy didn't dump people because they used to beat
Yep.
people up.
Yep.
Diddy dumped people because he just signed in a hot talent, exploited them,
Yep.
and then dumped them after one album. It's nothing
Yeah,
to
the
do
al-
with the beat. He didn't. P
Yep.
Diddy wouldn't give a fuck
Yep.
if Big beat women. Like
Yep.
he took Usher to a party when he was only 13 years old and
Yeah.
just fed him to the women. He doesn't care. He's a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, Diddy. Yeah, I'm surprised it's actually taken this long for shit about Diddy to come out because there's stuff on Diddy, I'm sure, going back into the 90s that is yet to
Yeah, I
even
mean,
come to
people
light.
look. People have always said things, but Diddy just has a lot of money and power
Mhm.
to kind of silence people and threaten people. But because with her, at least like with her being married to like a billionaire,
Mhm.
she has the resources to take him on. And I commend that. I do
Yeah,
commend that because
should.
this isn't making your life easier. This isn't going to revive your career or help you in any way. This is going to put you in a spotlight. And if you know the black community and how they fucking, how they all defend the biggest pieces of shit in hip hop, just look what happened with,
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, but
Oh, yeah,
also
Bill
Megan
Cosby.
Thee Stallion,
Yep.
Megan
Yeah,
Thee
Bill
Stallion
Cosby.
with
Bill
her husband,
Cosby.
with her fella.
OJ Simpson.
O.J. Simpson. Yeah.
Yeah, all this kind of shit, and obviously, I'm a white guy saying about this, but I'm just quoting exactly what I heard from black streamers. Zam, you watch the Leftist Mafia, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So Rebecca from that I'm just quoting her verbatim what she said about the whole community is going to come down on her. They're going to defend P Diddy. They're going to make her life hell, make her out to be the villain.
Yep.
Because this is what happens. I'd say like black women in the music industry get shit on so badly, and there is no one to turn to. There's no one there to defend them, and they're just like fed to the wolves essentially. And
what's
yeah, go
shit is that instead of defending these obvious dirtbags, there's so many noble black entertainers, artists that they could be promoting and uplifting
Yep.
instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But those
We-
good ones, they're the ones that get buried.
Yeah, we as black people, we got it all fucked up, man. My culture, we got it all fucked up. We defend the wrong guy. Like, we've defended Jay-Z when he's done fucked up shit. We've defended R. Kelly when he's done fucked up shit. We've defended Bill Cosby. Yeah.
Men, like, again, I know this. Look, if you know, like, Zam will know my area where I've grown up in, like Tottenham Enfield, has got a large black community. I've grown up in the black community as well, and all this kind of shit. And black men will never take responsibility when they wrong a woman. It's always the other person's fault. And I know obviously that's the same within like white people and all this kind of shit. But I just want to say that there's a huge problem within the community about how they treat women and how they just won't. Even women will defend a black man when they do wrong. Prime example, Chris Brown. When Chris Brown beat the shit out of Rihanna, half of them were saying, "Oh, I'd love for him to do that to me. She should be counting her stars." The other half was saying she fucking deserved it. She shouldn't have gone through her phone. Like, nobody I know came out, and I'm also, this happened at work, and I got so pissed off at work that I had to say, like, I had to fucking have a sit-down discussion with my staff about this, because it riled me up that the two black women who I worked with defended Chris Brown and blamed Rihanna. And I just needed to do like some kind of awareness of what the fuck domestic abuse is and psychological abuse and all this kind of shit. Yeah.
And just to add to that, you can see how people react to somebody like Will Smith, who gets cucked by his fucking wife.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, and there's no defense for Will Smith. None whatsoever. It's the polar opposite. You know,
I defended him.
But I'm just saying, just generally, like he when I say defense, I mean like he's ridiculed.
Yeah,
they're ridiculing him. Yeah,
he's ridiculed.
Yeah.
You know, and so
yeah.
And by the way, one more thing.
Yeah,
P. Diddy should go back to being called Puff Daddy again, but if you see his ass right now, he's a fat motherfucker. So go back to being called Puff Daddy.
As far as
the way she treated her husband, the way Will Smith was treated was just I can't say the word. Yeah,
abominable.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, but
hang on. Wait,
wait.
before we go, Gaz, because you had your hand up for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is that there has been a history in the past of black men being accused of sex to make them dangerous. So maybe that kind of history is figuring into it. I mean, we got to remember that that community has had to deal with a lot of things. And again, people in that community can probably speak more on this than I can. But it is something that is in their past that we've got to unfortunately deal with.
Okay, that's fine within the community that has been targeted as a rapist community and all this kind of shit, which isn't true. Like, white people commit way more rape.
I know that.
Black people and all that. But I know what you mean. But take us out of this and keep it contained within their own community here.
Yep.
Okay, we're nothing to do with this. Like, we're not the ones making the accusations, all that. We're talking about how people within that community react when a woman speaks out. And you know, again, Jose, you know the deal. I mean, you're mixed race yourself. You know what it's like.
Yep.
Okay, and so yeah, forget us and the accusations and the bullshit that we've piled onto the black community and all this kind of stuff. This is across the board, and it's not just in America; it's everywhere. Okay,
Yeah, it's everywhere, and it needs to be raised awareness. I mean, you know, Diddy's done some fucked up shit, and I think honestly, it's about 30 years overdue. But it's time that people start coming out. You got to come out the woodwork, and you got to be like, "Yo, I was mistreated. I got fucked up. He did this. He did that." If anything, Cassie coming out and saying what she needs to say hopefully will inspire more black women and women in general to come together and say, okay, we got to put a stop to this shit. We can't allow men to do this to us. And Diddy is not the first. He won't be the last. But more women need to be encouraged to speak up and be like, yo, it's okay to speak up and say what you need to say.
Agreed.
That's at least my view.
Exactly. If they can, if some people can come out And I know there's half the people taking the piss out of Will Smith, but the other half are just saying like, the guy should be beating the shit out of Jada and all this kind of shit. So I've seen a lot of that, and it's just
Terrible.
like, well, if you can defend Will Smith for that, why can't you flip the roles? Why can't you defend a woman who's clearly a victim of domestic violence? It's like, it's frustrating, but
I sadly think sadly with the whole Will and Jada thing, something just happened with both of them to where both of them got fucked up because people are like so quick to chastise Will and Will or Jada and make one or the other look like a saint. I'm like, yo, I'm on the side of both of them fucked up as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, they're both idiots, but Jada is just a cunt, an absolute cunt of a human being. She literally gets off on cucking Will. She gets off on it because she probably, half the stuff she says is probably just lies just to get a reaction from him and a reaction from people. Because as long as the spotlight's on her, she's happy with that. She's a complete psycho.
Narcissist.
Narcissistic.
We'll keep relevant, by the way.
Psycho, yeah. And the thing is, regardless of, like, I don't like Will Smith, but no person on either side
should ever be emasculated like this. Yeah.
Like this. Because he doesn't talk. He keeps quiet. He just sits there and he takes it. And then you have what happened at the Oscars. And all this
he
kind
defended
of shit.
his wife.
Yeah.
And the irony of that is she said that she came out and said, like, yo, we ain't been husband and wife in forever. So I don't know where the fuck he came from. I'm like, Jada, something is up with you. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but
just
you need psychological help. Yeah.
She's a manipulator.
Yeah.
Big time.
But I've got a first feeling that, like, it's going to come to a head where he's going to snap. Because the thing is that some people can only take so much for so long before it really.
All he needs to do is just divorce her. Just fucking walk away.
He was allegedly banging Margot Robbie. He should go back. He should have gone back to that before she married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When them two are making a movie together.
Yeah.
And now there's like, a former fucking friend of his has come out saying that, oh, me and Will did stuff.
Yep.
Like, so like now there's rumors of him being
but
bisexual and all that. But who cares? Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Look, for me, I believe that as much as I believe that dickhead who spoke to Tucker Carlson saying that he had sex with fucking Obama.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just bollocks. It's just way for these people to get themselves in the spotlight.
Yeah. I mean, what the flip side of it is, it could be that he's cheated on Jada so many times that she's now just trying to say, look, just get the fuck away.
And we don't know.
We don't know.
And the thing is, we never will. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
you think he's fucked a lot of his co-stars?
Scotty doesn't.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like Charlize Theron and Margot Robbie and that girl from iRobot and all that shit. Okay.
Probably. Yeah, you never know. We don't know, but still, cheating is one thing. Being abusive and manipulative is still, there's no excuse for that. Cheating is just one of the fucking most. It's not nice, but it's normal. Like, people do it all the time. And,
doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right. Just to clarify,
doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
But the emotional manipulation that the other person does, the emasculation, all this kind of shit, there's just no.
Yeah, get some help. Get some help.
Get some help. Walk away.
So back to B Diddy. Do you think he's going to do an R. Kelly and face jail? Or do you think
nothing
will
happen.
Diddy will come out and be like, I didn't do shit. And that's what he's going to do, because this is what they always do. Not just black people, but people in general. What they'll do, Diddy will deflect.
Rich people.
Yeah. Diddy's rich, so what Diddy's going to do is he's going to deflect and make it about something else that has nothing to do with this. Because that's what they do. Whenever somebody's guilty, somebody will deflect the shit. They rarely own up to it. I mean, there have been instances of people owning up to shit. Not that you hear about it too often. But Diddy will deflect, and he'll make it like, no, the bitch is crazy, or he'll just avoid the subject altogether.
Look, regarding Diddy, he's at a stage of his career now where he's made so much fucking money, he doesn't need to constantly show himself on screen like he once did. I mean, until you guys mentioned him, I totally forgot they even existed. Mm-hmm. But but at the same time, unfortunately for somebody like Diddy, unfortunately for us regarding Diddy, is that time will not make us personally forget. But time always makes people who are like him, Ric Flair, Vince McMahon, these motherfuckers, it just ends up being a period where people have forgotten about it, they moved on from it, and he's still going to be around, and he's still going to be doing his shit.
Victims. and
Yeah.
his victims are still going to be around, and they're
Yeah.
not going to forget.
Nope.
No, they're never
And
going to
if
forget,
she's
unfortunately.
coming out,
Yeah.
there's got to be others because no one stops with just one.
Yeah. And let me also add this too. He ain't doing this by himself. I got to clarify that shit too, because nobody does shit like this on their own. You cannot convince me. Nobody here can convince me that a person that is rich does this shit by themselves. That is
They've
almost
got
never the case.
handlers.
Yep.
They've got handlers. They've got people that go out and get the women, pay
Yep.
them off,
Yeah.
destroy
Lawyers
their
as
careers
well
if
that
they
do that
come out
shit.
against him.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
going to go after Diddy, you can't just go after Diddy. You got to go after his entire entourage. Go after everybody.
He's got
Just-
lawyers,
Yep.
and he's got people that'll dig dirt up on you and deflect and gaslight and say, "Oh, but this person,
Mhm.
cheated on their high school exam. They're, morally corrupt, morally corrupt, morally corrupt, morally corrupt," instead of being
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm a rapist."
Absolutely. Spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's wait and see what happens. I don't hold up much hope, but
Mm-mm.
she's got the money to kind of go after him. If her husband's like supportive of her situation, then we'll see. Because she's not, you can't claim for her being like fame hungry because she's been out of the spotlight for ages.
Mhm.
She's been out of the spotlight for ages. So it's not about the fame. It's about, getting the truth out there, and fair play to her. Okay, moving on. So Israel. A couple of updates on that. I don't know if people seen the kind of pathetic attempts by the IDF.
Well, I just want
go
to
on,
start
Sam.
off by saying that last week, I was driving home. Sorry, as you all know, my profession is a cab driver. I picked somebody up. I had to drive them to a part of London, which meant going through central London, and I kind of got lost in the Palestinian protests on Armistice Day, which was last Saturday, and it went really smoothly. I mean, there was no problems from my perspective, but there's such a swath of people, like 500,000 people, that I couldn't drive anywhere. It was impossible. And there were times when to get around these people, I would put on a fake Middle Eastern accent, and I opened up my window and I'll be going, I go, brother, sister, Habibi, please, I need to turn right, Habibi. I'll be going like that all the time and shit like that, and they'll see my features and they know, yeah, he's one of us, he's all good. And so yeah, they'll try to get me through and stuff, but it was very difficult, and it went out without a glitch. But then I started realizing that also the EDL protesters, the English Defence League, and all these far right British, boisterous British fucking, the guys who put cigarette packets under their fucking t-shirts, these motherfuckers, they were also there because they were misinformed by Suella Braverman that they were going to destroy the cenotaph in central London, and they caused most amount of fuss. If you saw some of the shit, of the British protesters versus the Palestinian protesters at Victoria Station, they were proper football hooligans. They were going, "Come on, then, you fucking cunt! I'll have you right now," and all that sort of shit. You saw the clips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
It was
need to see the
terrible.
clips. I know very well how they behave. I remember flying into Manchester. I was going to an atheist meetup for the weekend there. I'd come over from Bulgaria.
Was it the Liverpool
And,
one?
No, this one was in
Manchester
yeah,
one.
Liverpool one, yeah.
It was the
But I
Liverpool
flew
one.
into
Yeah, that's where I met
Manchester.
you. Yeah.
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 That's right. Yeah. And as soon as I got into the cab, like literally the cab driver started saying, "Oh, did you hear about this wonderful new political party we have?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "It's called the EDL." And I knew exactly
Oh, God.
Fuck.
who
Oh,
the EDL were, right? But I
Yeah.
was like playing along, who are they? Really? And I just let him go and go and go. And then I'm like, but what about this? And and what about that? And he had no answers. No fucking answers.
Yeah, typical.
Yeah,
innit?
Christine, just
Brain
if I could just continue here. These particular cab drivers, like these blighty cab drivers, they're fucking idiots because a lot of them are racist as fuck, but they need tourism, to help sustain their businesses. When prior to Brexit, I would see so many black cabs with a Union Jack on the back of their fucking windows saying "Leave." I'm thinking, you fucking dickheads, you fucking dickheads. You need people from Europe to be able to easily come into this country so they can jump in your fucking cab, and you want to leave all that shit? You want to get rid of all that shit? You
Yeah, they're the only ones
idiots.
stupid enough to
Yeah.
pay
Or-
for black
Yeah.
passes, you know what I mean?
Or like,
Yeah, please.
or like when
Yeah.
Americans are so against illegal aliens, but they want cheap,
Labor.
fruit and veg.
yeah.
Well, guess who's picking that fruit and veg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're against illegal aliens, and yet we want to make visits to fucking Area 51, and half of them do that shit. They're like, oh, yeah, we don't believe in aliens. Why are you going to Area 51 then if you don't believe in aliens?
Yeah.
I just want to quickly share this, guys. 1 second.
No, go for it, mate.
Um,
TLD, I don't know about the Dalton Mayor Tiffany Hainier, but if you want to bring it up in the comments, happy to talk about it.
because eventually I ended up in the area of Victoria, and my customer who I couldn't drop home said, "Fuck it, I'll just take the tube from Victoria Station." And this is sorry, this is what happened at Victoria Station the same day, round about the same fucking time.
Cat says hello.
Terrorist fuckers, man. Yeah, you terrorist cunt.
Do what you can.
Who are you cunt?
Who are you?
Fuck off. Who are you fucking You terrorist cunt. Who are you cunt?
Because here at Victoria, like the mix now, they're all mixing up Palestinian protesters and the EDL who'll be misinformed by Corella Braverman.
We were fucking born in this
Too late, people.
here too. We were born in this
Are there any policemen in the station? I saw loads of them.
You were fucking in this country.
So were we.
You were fucking eggs of the get over here then you cunt.
So are we. Get over here then, you cunt. What does that even mean? You
Can anyone stand it? We're not fucking sorry. We care about this country.
They're the aggressors. You can see it right in
You
them.
care about this country, so you're causing a fucking riot
We're
for no
causing
reason.
You are causing a riot,
No,
mate.
you are. You're the one shouting.
Calling people terrorists and shit.
Filming us.
Are you filming us? No, you hold the camera up.
Guys, excuse me. I'm trying to make a living here. Can you fuck off?
Where are the police?
I told you stand back. Come on, please stop it. All right, stop it.
Okay.
So this might have been Waterloo. No, sorry, this was Waterloo Station, not Victoria.
Yeah,
my bad.
Waterloo.
But
Yeah,
still,
yeah, yeah.
still,
And
yeah.
it's just so stupid. It's like, that politicians are dividing us so that we can just rape our land and take our money, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Every day.
Of course. I mean, this Suella knew what she was doing. She she deliberately leaned into the culture war stuff to kind of, further put divide on people. She's done everything to kind of like she should be arrested because basically her rhetoric was incitement to riot. And this
I
is
don't
what-
even know who she is.
She was our
Home
home
Secretary.
secretary. She just got
Was.
sacked. So the home
Yeah.
secretary obviously is one who takes care of all the kind of internal laws and affairs and deals with like police and policies regarding, the homeland. Whereas the foreign secretary kind of deals with all the kind of international bollocks. So she was our home secretary. She got fired after the whole debacle of the cenotaph. They completely disrespected Remembrance Day. Where you're supposed to observe the 2-minute silence, all this kind of shit. And she peddled a bunch of lies that people were going to go to the cenotaph. The pro-Palestinian supporters were going to go to the cenotaph, where everyone goes to lay the wreaths for the dead and cause trouble. Whereas the organizers of the cenotaph protest repeatedly said over and over again, we're not going to be anywhere near the fucking cenotaph. We're going to be at Hyde Park, which is a couple of miles away. And we're not going to start the protest until after the 2-minute silence is observed. A whole 2 hours later from the 11 o'clock 2-minute silence. But of course, right wingers are thick as shit. So they believed the lies and they all went to the cenotaph. And these idiots, they literally, like, their brain is wired to just want to fight straight away.
Yeah.
Like within 2 minutes of getting there, they're pushing the police and and they get so wired up because they're so thick and they're the ones that caused all the disgrace and the problems for the people that turn up for the pro-Palestine march that Saturday. I think it's among all the second largest protest in British history. The most is the Iraq War. We came out millions for that, and there was only 10 arrests, whereas the right-wing idiots that went to the cenotaph and that they had hundreds of arrests, and they numbered in just a few thousand.
A couple of 2,000 of them, 500,000 pro-Palestine protesters. About 100 pro-Palestine protesters were arrested, whilst about over 100 EDL.
No, there wasn't not even 100 pro-Palestinian people were arrested. It was like minimal. Yeah,
I've heard 100, but let's just say, even for argument's sake, let's just say it was. Yeah, the point is, you got 500,000 with only 100 being arrested, whilst you got a couple of thousand of the cenotaph protesters, and I think maybe a couple of hundred were arrested. So 10% of their fucking of their group, while you can't even put a percentage on the fucking people who got arrested regarding pro-Palestine. And considering I was there on that day, being caught up in all the fucking hullabaloo, I could tell you that not one of those motherfuckers showed any hostility whatsoever. They were happy to try and get my car to go through, even though it couldn't. They tried to get out of the way. They couldn't. There was just too many people. Eventually, I had to drop my customer where he was and go a different direction. It was peaceful. I think it was very important for those Palestine protesters to make it peaceful, to show that it can be peaceful.
Yeah, so they didn't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, whilst these guys, they are fucking hooligans. They've always been hooligans, these other guys, these cenotaph motherfuckers. You could see it in them with the way they were approached, and they got riled up so easily.
They must be suffering from, I think their parents drank when they were in the womb.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
People with low IQ always tend to be their brain always wires differently, because when you can't understand things, you start to snap and get angry and violent because it's a defense mechanism against being embarrassed. So this is why they're always wired to be violent idiots. It always shows the more educated a person is, the less violent they are.
And there's definitely an ego problem that's connected, runs in line with that. With what you just said too. It's goes along with the ignorances, add to that ego. And they definitely can't let go and have to somehow save face. And in their eyes, like you said, that's the fight.
Yeah.
And that in their mind shows that they're still strong and manly. And oh, and just to let you know, we have Remembrance Day here too. So I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you see, but Owen Jones was on Good Morning Britain and he was on Piers Morgan talking about the protests. And a lot of people are pushing this idea that there's a lot of anti-Semitic sentiment in the pro-Palestine match, which there wasn't. There was a little bit of it, but there wasn't.
There was a little bit, yeah. But there's loads of fucking Jews in that protest as well, by the way.
You're always going to get a couple of bad eggs in there. It's just a standard fare. But considering the level of Jews that were at the protest as well, it just
all types of Jews, by the way.
All types of Jews.
All Orthodox Jews, regular Jews,
Sephardic, Orthodox, fucking you name it. There was different types, and they're all there protesting for the same thing. It's
for the innocent civilians that are being harmed.
Yeah, and it's just that people are just sick and tired of the West just carpet murdering everyone. It wasn't just about the Palestinian people. People just had enough. They've had enough of the constant fucking war. And as a united front, what they saw, it absolutely scared the shit out of the government. They're trying to do everything and anything to stop these protests from happening. We've already had the policing bill kind of change law where they can arrest you for any fucking reason. But thankfully, the police, after the backlash, after the ascension of King Charles, and people got arrested there for just protesting with their right to protest. But a lot of the protests.
What happened? I want to know about that in a second. I'll be right back.
There's about
all right. Okay. Hang on, guys. She just said she'll talk about it when she comes back. So we'll talk about that when she comes back.
Yeah,
And,
she'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that I mean, the thing is that this whole thing is just like people are saying, look, we just want peace. We just want like there to be a solution, and people are going, oh, there can't be a two-state solution. Yes, there can. And
Yeah,
I think,
your right wingers are trying to cause a civil war just like ours here in America. One side wants that peace, the other side wants that
two-state solution
anarchy.
is just bollocks because that still has control. Like it's just stupid. It's a one-state solution, one right, equal rights, vote for all, equal representation in Parliament, and all this kind of shit. And just do it that way.
can I ask a question? Right, the Israeli Defense Force is it an international force or is it their army?
It's their army. It's just
okay. Because why
It's like
the
the Navy SEALs.
The reason I'm asking is because it's because like Douglas Murray's fighting for him. So I'm just wondering, how does it work? I mean, because surely that's against like one of our rules. Like you should be fighting for a foreign insurgency.
You technically shouldn't be, but they're not stopping anyone. You know, they'll just do it.
By the way,
anyway.
this is what happened in America when they came to their Palestine protest.
Because
Let's see how crazy we are.
The cops beat the fuck out of the protesters.
Yeah.
Shut my cameras off.
What did the freeway do?
Yeah, it's because they were blocking the DNC thing.
And then talks about shutting down any anti-Israeli protest, which obviously goes against the First Amendment. But really, who gives a fuck when all the cats are making the rules?
Yep.
There's more to this, but this is what I can only find at the moment.
Yeah, that's all right. We've seen plenty. Yeah.
Not even surprised to see something like that go down.
No, I mean, but the thing is like Israel has, they've lost the war on misinformation, and if you look at the recent stuff after they attacked the biggest hospital in Gaza, they try to just say, we're going in there because there's a massive underground tunnel network and it's a military base and all this kind of shit. And then they've been in there, and even the BBC are like, what's going on? We haven't seen any evidence to the contrary. And the BBC's been obviously very biased towards Israel, like everyone else. But even they are like now sitting there going, okay, this is just getting ridiculous now. You keep making all these excuses that everywhere and everything you're bombing is Hamas, and the hostages. They have leveled half of Gaza now. And where are the fucking hostages? They haven't collected any hostages. They've killed the fucking
It's where
hostages.
the weapons of mass destruction are kept. Same place, dude.
Yeah,
That was
exactly. Same
sarcasm.
place. Yeah, where the unicorns fillet themselves. Right there, same place. And it's just like the fact that some people are just buying into the bullshit. It's just like, no, they don't give a fuck. Look, the Israeli end game is they're taking over Gaza now. That's it. They're going in there, they're taking over Gaza. While all this shit is going on in Gaza, they are doing the same shit in the West Bank, but nobody is talking about the West Bank. And the reason they can't talk about the West Bank is because there's no Hamas there. So what is their justification for doing that? They're bombing Lebanon because they're making up lies. Oh, Hezbollah are doing this, and this. Yet to see any evidence of Hezbollah. I've only heard Hezbollah talk about doing things. So they're bombing another fucking country. And the end game it's just they're going to take over Gaza. That's it. They're not giving it back. They're in there now. They're going to displace 2 million Palestinians. Fuck knows where they're going to go because Egypt's not going to take them.
They're going to be jailed dead, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to be killed. They're going to be killed. This is the end game. And as wonderful as it is that the protesters have come out, unless we fucking people take to the ballot and vote out every single motherfucker that has taken Israeli lobby money, okay, which is basically half of the Labour Party.
And
okay,
most of the American politicians, by the way, too.
AIPAC has complete control over everyone in American politics.
Oh, America's bought and paid for, bro. That's
mate.
basically the long story short.
Not just bought and paid for, they send money
Yep.
to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billions
They're
every
a
time.
rich country. They don't need your money.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't.
And American politics give a damn more about Israel than they do about America,
Yep.
which is incredible. They don't
Yeah.
give a fuck about it.
They
They-
know
Israel
they're useful
first,
ally in the
America,
Middle East.
America
So-
third.
So
Yep.
they're
They've got
close to
free
the
health care
resourcing.
in Israel
Yep.
that
Yep.
basically America pays for. And
Yep.
you
Yep.
guys don't have free health care.
No, we don't. We're the only country in the entire world that doesn't have universal health care.
One
Yeah.
or
Pretty
two.
fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Sorry to
Uh,
interrupt, guys. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
No problem.
That's all right. Did you want to hear about the what happened with the King Charles
Yeah, I
protest?
want to know what happened about the inbred guy.
So basically, like I said, because with the police bill is like police can basically arrest you even before you protest. So if they think you're going to cause trouble, they can use that as an excuse to just arrest you. So with King Charles, there was a big group of Republicans that were going to come out as British Republicans, not the American type.
Difference? What's the difference?
They're big
They
difference.
just don't believe in a monarchy, but they're left
Yeah,
wing.
we're a republic, an
Yeah.
actual republic. Which is
Actual
what the
republic.
Republicans in America should be like, but they love our fucking royal family. Ironically,
Yeah, well, they had the Southern strategy flip in the 60s.
Yeah, yeah,
Republicans used
yeah.
to be more like the Democrats before that, and all this kind of shit. Abraham Lincoln's
So
policy, blah, blah,
they're
blah.
anti-monarchy, but they're lefties.
Yeah, a Republican is meant to be. That's what a Republican is, and a Republican is supposed to be somebody who doesn't believe in a monarchy, believes in the rule of democracy. Okay. They tend to be more left wing everywhere else but the United States. It's a Republican only in name. It's just because that was the name that they had, and they're not changing it. But so the Republicans were coming out because all of us here are Republicans, except for Gaz, but that's all right. And they basically arrested a whole load of them before they even got a chance to protest, which is completely shouldn't be allowed. And
Which
all
I
they
don't
had
agree
was
with.
placards. They weren't even going to cause a mess. They just had placards saying "Not my king."
It's
That's it.
anti-democratic. That's
It's
Yeah, that's-
anti-democratic. And after that, so after those arrests, because there was quite a few arrests, there was huge backlash, and the Met Police released everyone with no charges and issued a blanket apology for being heavy-handed at the thing. So,
These people still had to go to jail and have their butts checked.
Yeah.
we're not that
even-
bad
even-
here.
even-
They would have just been detained for a couple of hours, and then
They would have probably
no
got put in a
charges.
holding cell, and that was probably about it.
And the thing is that King Charles himself said, "This isn't really helping me. It basically makes me look bad."
yeah,
That's
even
literally what he said.
even the king was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And so because of that, so fast forward to the last couple of weeks with the Palestinian pro-Palestinian protests, the Home Secretary attacked the Met Police. She called them weak, woke, leftists, insert right-wing cliches,
Grift.
whatever you want. She accused the Met Police of being too soft, and she was legitimately angry that they weren't going to shut down the protests. The Met Police were like, "Look, we've spoken to the pro-Palestinian protests, and they've said we are not going to stop this protest. We are not here to cause trouble. This is our plan. This is where we're going to be. This is our exact route. Everything's planned out, and everything went to plan. And even on the day, the police did an excellent job. They did
Yes.
an excellent job. The protesters even say the police were fantastic. They just stayed out of the way, let people protest, grabbed whoever needed to be grabbed, and that was it. And because Suella Braverman, she stepped the line and attacked the Met Police, that's what got her fired. All the other stuff, the Tories were loving it. They're like, "Yeah, great, yeah, cause division and
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all this
yeah.
kind of
Let's
shit."
say let's say asylum seekers to fucking Rwanda.
Yeah, all this kind of shit. But the fact
Send her
that
to fucking
she
Rwanda.
attacked the Met Police, they were like, no, we're not going to stand for this. So she got sacked, and she's come out. She's obviously playing to be the next Tory leader, which good fucking luck with that. And so,
No chance.
they're all fighting, and while they're all fighting, we're getting screwed over with more cuts to benefits and cuts to people's like increases in our taxes and all this kind of shit. But everyone's distracted. You see, this is the beauty of disaster capitalism: is whilst there's one thing distracting you, we're going to do everything else while the press are looking over there to fuck you over more so. And
Watch
that's
my
what they're
right
doing.
hand while my left hand goes in your pocket
Stab.
and takes your wallet.
Yep.
Exactly.
And the worst thing is that what passes for our left wing politics here aren't going to do anything to reverse that.
Well, anyone who comes out to be remotely left wing, like Jeremy Corbyn, they get absolutely destroyed by our press. Yeah, I know that. But Keir Starmer is right wing. Anyone who comes across as who are remotely left wing, like Jeremy Corbyn, our media will destroy them to not even give them a chance. And there will also be insiders within the Labour Party who are right wing cucks themselves and sellouts. You know, a bit like a lot of Democrats are. Make sure that the party doesn't ever go in a left wing direction. And that's what has happened with the Labour Party now. They are pretty much the red Tory party, in my opinion. There's hardly any difference between the Labour and the Tories. Yeah, I'll still take them at this moment. I'll kind of take them now over the Tories at this moment in time, but only because the Tories are so
same
shit.
everywhere though. With politicians, there's only
we have more than one party.
There's no real
Christine.
difference. What?
We're not a two-party country like America. We have several parties, but it's always just Labour and fucking. Oh, sorry. I apologize. I forget you're Canadian. I'm sorry. But yeah, we might as well be a two-party state though, because Labour and it's always going to be passing between Labour and fucking Conservatives. No other party is ever going to get into power.
Right. We have several parties here, but there are basically the top three, but the top two usually fight, but two are usually, switch, with occasionally the third party wins every 10 years because we just get so fed up with the top two. But we've got at least, I can name about 5 parties, but we've got more than that.
Yeah, over here we have like Tories, Labour, Lib Dems, Green Party, the Reform Party. I don't know if BNP's still around or not. We've got Tusk,
Communist,
SWP. Well, that's the Socialist Workers Party.
Do we still have the Monster Raving Lunar Party?
No, they've gone. We have the Northern Independent Party. We have there was loads. We've got loads of parties, but the problem was that a lot of these parties, a lot of the left wingers were in the Labour Party, but because Starmer has just thrown out a whole load of left wingers from that party, they're all now going either as independents or in the Green or Tusk or all these other little parties. And what happened in British politics, which I was glad the prediction came true, was that the independents that got thrown out of the so the left wingers that got thrown out of Labour and ran as independents have re-won their seats, and
they're deciding votes now, aren't they? So they get what they want.
Well, yeah, I mean, not quite yet. They're not quite there yet, but there's been another schism. Yeah, there's been another schism within the Labour Party over the ceasefire vote in Gaza. So the Labour Friends of Israel did a lot of damage to the Labour Party to oust Jeremy Corbyn because he was a legitimate threat who wanted to basically, who said, look, we're going to send no money, no arms to Israel at all because what they're doing is genocide. So panic set in. So they did everything to kind of oust him because after 2017, when he was supposed to be wiped out, but instead created a hung parliament, they started making up the lies about anti-Semitism being rife within the party. It's the only weapon they could use against him. And unfortunately,
because once someone hears that word, they go blank.
Yeah. And it was routinely debunked, but the press just didn't care. They lied continuously about it. And then the people within his own party used Brexit as well. And it just derailed Corbyn's election in 2019. And that's what Boris Johnson getting. But the bourgeois don't care. They don't care for another.
Yeah, Boris Johnson can call fucking Arab women letterboxes and they still fucking keep him in power. Boris Johnson can lie to us about fucking Brexit and his punishment is to become the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. It's really an absolute fucking joke. But I'll tell you this regarding anti-Semitism, that shit won't work anymore. It's done.
Not working anymore. No, people aren't
not
buying
working anymore.
No, But
You
I'll
know,
just get back to the Labour Party quickly. So there was a big vote on the ceasefire, and 56 MPs basically resigned from the party, and 10 of them are in the shadow front bench. So this is like your shadow chancellor, your shadow home secretary, all these kind of
I
people. They
understand.
resigned because Keir Starmer, who was bought by the Labour Friends of Israel, which is a massive Zionist lobby group, will not vote for a ceasefire. And his rhetoric is whatever the Americans say, that's what we'll do. So he has no spine. Our country has no spine at all because
we always wait for America to act first.
Whatever the Americans say, that's what we'll do.
If America said ceasefire right now, fucking Britain will say ceasefire.
Exactly.
Yep.
But the word is humanitarian pause. Ceasefire is like, he who shall not be named kind of fucking shit. Anyway, so now I'm hoping that Starmer is challenged for the leadership because of this, because nobody likes him. He's a garbage. He's a fascist. He's worse than the fucking Tories. And he's bought and paid for, but yeah, he's worse, mate. He's worse. Like he's kicked out more Jews, more.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not bad. And don't get me wrong, he's not ideal. But if I had a choice between Labour and the Tories right now, I'll take I'll take
Labour for now.
With Keir Starmer as Prime Minister.
No, I prefer not to have Keir Starmer with the leader.
No, but if you had no choice,
if I had no choice, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What I'm hoping happens once they get in is the Tories die out because the Labour will be the new Tory party, and the Greens come up with smaller, independent or other left-wing parties that take up. So you need coalitions to form governments and all this kind of shit. Which I'm hoping that's what happens next. But you never know with this country. People are so dumb.
Very quickly,
anyway,
hello, Mr. System.
Hello, Mr.
System. Was it a comedy show today? Which is
That's
why
you're
he's late.
Who did you? Anyone famous?
Keir Starmer.
Yeah, big fucking clown he is. But yeah, but that's what's happening, like in terms of like UK politics, just massive shit show. But the way that the West is united in its cuckery to Israel, and it's just funny how the system. You see how the system works, and I it's kind of incredible how like they all say the same shit, the same rhetoric, the same talking points when it comes to Israel. No other country.
Well, there's one country has asked for a ceasefire. That's France. I couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah, France actually asked. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
and Netanyahu was like, "You made a big mistake." Like, mate, this is France we're talking about, man. They have one of the strongest militaries in the world.
Do you know who Jason Brown is? Right? He said that is this a debate over words? See, because it's like saying, well, ceasefire is the same thing as a humanitarian pause, surely, isn't it? That's what he said. I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm just saying what he said.
No, but the
humanitarian pause
I
is
got a
just
joke
for a couple of
about,
hours to get supplies in and then blow them up again.
Yeah,
I got a
ceasefire
joke
means
about
stop.
France and fascists. Why does the Champs-Elysees have trees lining the streets?
Why?
Because the Nazis hate to march in the sun.
Very well said. And like regarding France, like one of the reasons why someone like Marine Le Pen, in my opinion, didn't become the France president is because it's all good shitting on fucking foreigners and saying that we want to kick them all out, but there's a day in, day out sort of routine you need to do when it comes to politics, which is why the Tories are so fucking terrible, because they just go for cultural or rhetoric all the time. They're really bad at the day in, day out routines or what it means to run a fucking country. Fascists tend to really be like that. They've got nothing else to offer other than hate. And it's good that she never
Marine
fucking
Le
went
Pen
to
doesn't
power.
run France.
No. One of the reasons why I think she never got to become president. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Pat Short. That's isn't that? Oh, what's his name? Tom from Father Ted. Hello, Father. I killed the man.
By the way, Mr. System, I've had Patrick Kilty in my car, just so you know, when it comes to Irish people.
Yeah, he's not a comedian, no. He's a wannabe comedian.
Yeah.
See?
What was I going to say? People don't understand the nuances as well. I mean, you can you don't have to be anti-Semitic to be against Israel. Like
You hear that,
there's
Sam?
complete difference between the two.
Good. You don't have to be anti-Semitic, mate. You know, you got to stop all that and be pro everything.
What the fuck are you talking? You're gonna put me into shit right now unnecessarily.
Okay,
I have a job. I have a job, you know.
Yeah.
Before people get the wrong idea about me. Shit.
Yeah, I'm just joking, obviously.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, look, they kept trying to say people that are pro-Palestinian are anti-Semitic, and it's just like the beauty with that statement is that a lot of Jews came out and said, "Listen here, motherfucker, you are being anti-Semitic because you are conflating Zionism with Judaism. No, Zionism are a bunch of right-wing Jews that wanted to create an ethno state that is a Jewish supremacist state. Okay, the rest of the Jews are like, we don't fucking want this. We don't want this. Yes, it's nice to have a home, but not at the expense of other fucking people.
And you're lumping us all into one group and you're painting us with the same brush. And that's like the definition of racism.
Yeah.
So if you can't tell the difference and say, well, they're the same thing and they act like this, they behave like this, they want this in life, then yeah, they are racist for thinking that.
Yeah, of course. And that's why there's been a lot of pushback. And that's why for the first time in a long time, they've lost. No, that's all right. They've lost the argument. People just aren't buying it anymore. People are fed up of the constant fucking lies and the just the propaganda being peddled. And they're like, no, the anti-Semitism thing doesn't work. And Jews are suffering because of Israel, because of the actions of Israel, not just Israeli government, but the actions of Western governments in being such up the arses of Israel. It feeds into that annoying conspiracy theory of Jews control everything. And it's like, no, the Israeli lobby is like the gun lobby. You know, they got a lot of money. They can sway a lot of influence. They can fucking destroy your career if you go against them. It's the same with the gun manufacturing lobby and all this kind of shit.
And they're not a person and they're not a religion. They're an institution that's a political party, that's a state. It's not a human being. It's not a racist thing. It's a state that I'm against.
Exactly.
You know?
We're against the like, and one of my arguments I use is like, how comes I can shit on Saudi Arabia and Russia, but I can't criticize Israel? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why is it I'm not called anti-Slavic when I criticize Russia, but I'm called anti-Semitic and criticize Israel? It's like, it's such a dumb argument. It doesn't work at all, and it's not sticking, and they're getting
well. Sadly, I think it works a little too much with some people. Still, I mean, it's not working with everyone, and it's slowly changing. I'm just not as optimistic, I think, as you.
Well, look, I was saying, like, I've never known a conflict that has divided people both on the right wing and within the left wing, like Israel, Palestine.
Yeah,
it's unbelievably fascinating. There are like people like Tommy Robinson's pro-Israel because he hates fucking Muslims and so do the fucking Israelis.
Isn't he the poster boy for the EDL or something?
That's the one.
One of them, yeah. And then the name just escaped me now, but there was this other guy who's also a right-wing fascist who would align himself with Tommy Robinson, but he has a different stance on it because they hate the fucking Jews regardless. You know what I mean? Regardless of all of this, so they don't give a damn. They don't really actually care about Palestine. They just fucking hate the Jews, so they don't want to fucking support them in this particular instance. And they're not supporting Palestine necessarily, but they definitely don't want to support the fucking Israelis or the Jews.
Yeah.
And whilst within the left, obviously there's lots of people who support Palestine, but there's also a lot of people who support Israel, and it's just the most amazing and incredible thing. I can't think of the right word, but bizarre thing ever when you got people, and there's always going to be right wingers who support Palestine as well, because a lot of conservative Muslims are right wing, but it's just their version of right wing because it's within their culture. It's just no different to Christian right wing, but it happens to be Muslim right wing. and they're going to support
that-
Palestine. You know what I mean?
That reminds
So,
me,
yeah.
you of something. I was kind of a tangent. I was going to go on about really Southern Christian communities that are siphoning money into Israel, because in the Bible, their interpretation is that the end of times will come. What is it?
When all the Jews return to Israel, the end of times
Thank
will
you.
come, and Jesus will
So-
return.
Some of them will convert to Christianity. Apparently, the rest
And-
will die and burn in hell.
So they want this conflict. All these peace-loving, Jesus' love are
A lot of it
sending
never-
money.
Yeah.
But
The
a lot of
irony-
these
Go on,
evangelicals do, but not, a lot of these evangelicals do, but not all of them do. Some of them have a different slant to their religion, and they don't fucking like Jewish people, regardless. You know, and you see that now with people like your Tucker Carlsons and your Candace Owens. You know, you see that divide within the Daily Wire. You know, like Ben Shapiro's got rid of Candace Owens because she's got a different opinion on things, and a lot of them are not part of this.
Damn right, Cheeto.
This unity with Israel. Definitely Tucker Carlson isn't. He is proper white Christian nationalist. Doesn't want to fucking
Of
side with
course.
Israel at all. On
Of
this.
course,
And
there's
same
all
with-
sorts
yeah.
of flavors. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of flavors, but you know, they're crazy enough. There are some of them that, don't like Jewish people, but still crave the end, the apocalypse. They crave
Yeah.
it so much that even though they hate Jews, they will still do everything in their power. And I'm not saying all of them are one way. That's not what I meant to express.
Yeah, I mean, but the funny thing is like these same people now are getting the shit kicked out of them in Israel, because once you create a Jewish supremacist state, everyone is fair game for getting their ass kicked, and the rate of attacks against Christian people has skyrocketed in Israel. And it's like, hey, you created it. This is your mess. Merry Christmas.
There was a clip I saw of these Christians who were in Bethlehem, and they were carrying a crucifix. It was to do with some sort of mass, maybe Christmas Day or some shit like that. And they were just doing their religious thing. And all these Orthodox Jews walked past them as they were carrying this cross, and they were spitting on them. Or the Orthodox Jews were spitting on these Christians. I couldn't fucking believe it. You know?
Yay, religion!
Woohoo! Fantastic. Funeral friend. What I find strange is a person who's called Islamophobic for criticizing a few Muslim extremists. Well, that sums up the UK in the 2000s, mate. We couldn't even criticize a religion without being branded Islamophobic. It's just like, well, we can't have an adult conversation about anything when it comes to a lot of things, because one side's going to accuse the other side of being this and that.
And that goes the same with Israel, criticizing Israel and everyone being called anti-Semitic. It's the moment, people don't want to, they generalize and they immediately assume that because you're criticizing one aspect of it, you're criticizing all, which is not the case.
Exactly.
Because I'm an ex-Muslim, in case you don't know, funeral friend. I'm an atheist now, and I fucking criticize Islam all the fucking time. But I have,
but it's not criticizing Muslims in general. It's criticizing the religion of Islam.
The religion,
they're different.
And I do also at the same time criticize certain Muslims for being fucking idiots, But at the same time,
more conservative ones, but
yeah,
people don't see the nuances.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the same time, like my cousin yesterday needed me to help him pick up some of the family members on the side of the family that's not related to me, like his cousins on his mum's side, because he's related to me on his dad's side. So, so picking up some of his cousins on his mum's side, he needed my help to do that. I did that for him yesterday because he's my cousin, regardless of him being fucking Muslim and shit like that. I still get together with my Muslim families and friends when it comes to certain festivals and get-togethers with. I love to eat the fucking food that they all fucking bring, and stuff like that, But I still think Islam's a fucking stupid religion, regardless. I always will. That'll never change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not base your opinion on what a person does as opposed to what they say about, I don't know, an imaginary being? I mean, wouldn't this world be a lovely place, or a better place at least, if we just did better things and judged people and for their actions?
Exactly, because you could believe whatever you want to believe, but it's your actions that
Yeah.
make the difference. So if you look at in my area again, so the demographics in my area are like, you know, black, and then so black, like mainly African side, and there's Muslim, like big Turkish community, all this kind of stuff. And during so we have a very bad cost of living crisis here in the UK, and my borough has some of the highest rates of poverty, and all of the mosques in this area are offering people free hot meals, either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whenever they can come. They are organizing with other charities to kind of make sure people are got food at home, with food banks and clothing and ways to keep warm and all this kind of shit, or just offering them a warm place to come and stay. And that's every mosque with the and there's a good chunk of the churches as well that are doing that here. But in terms of like the charity that they do within Islam is phenomenal, and it never gets talked about enough. You can easily criticize.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that because everyone just connects charity with the Catholic Christian charities. They don't see that there's atheists, there's Islamic charities, there's Buddhist charities, there's it's people that are good do good things.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, Cheeto. If somebody tells me who they are, you should believe them. They might not necessarily act on their actions, but if they sprout the fucking same shit that they would like to act upon, they're just as equally cunts. Okay, so just wanted to get that out there. Also, by the way, the Sikhs,
take that, Cheeto, you piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. The Sikhs, they also do a lot of charity work as well. Like, and they've fed so many people. Like, there was this time when people were snowed in on the motorway, all these loads of cars, they couldn't get back, and these Sikhs, they made all these curries and put them in little containers and were going to these truckers and these people stuck in their cars and giving them a nice warm meal. I love shit like that. That's when religion's at its best, when it's helping, when it's genuinely
when they follow one of the tenets of the religion.
When they're helping people and they're not some fucking pastor or some fucking dickhead sermon motherfucker asking you for all the cash you can give him so he can buy his fucking ass a brand new private jet.
Yeah, those are evangelicals. Evangelicals are just garbage. Then they're a capitalist religion. They're not a fucking Christian religion. Cheeto. But if you're right wing, you're bad. Not necessarily.
Exactly.
But they're
just stupid.
Like for example, there's loads of conservatives that I have a ton of respect for in this country. Like, for example, Amber Rudd, for example. She actually has a flaming soul. Like, Andrea Leadsom, she has a soul. There you go. I just named two conservatives that I actually respect.
They're all cunts in this country. They still vote for policies that harm the poor. So, what soul they have, it might just be for fucking a few merits. A couple of brownie points, but they're still happy to vote for policies that punish us.
Yeah.
So,
exactly on that, Cheeto. I don't get it. I don't know why Cheeto wants to fight me on this. Yeah, like majority of the right wingers. I don't know. It's hard to say because I do believe he kind of believes it to a degree. Because he goes on it quite a lot. And I'm thinking to myself, I think I've proven enough over the years with our debates and what we talk about here alone, that being on the right wing of things it tends to be the wrong things. They shouldn't be called the right wing, they should be called the wrong wing, because they're fucking wrong most of the fucking time. And they tend to want to do the fucking wrong things. I mean, the right wing in America right now wants to fucking ban books, and they want, in Tennessee you can't even fucking be homosexual anymore. Because
they don't want to ban books. They have been banning.
They have been banning books. Yeah.
These are right wing things. Yeah. So instead of like marginalizing a few and saying, "Oh, they're not all bad," let's just criticize the majority of them. Cheeto, they're fucking cunts.
I would find it very hard to find a Republican, no offense to America, to find a Republican that I would agree with, even in one area that's from the United States. I'm sorry, I just would.
Where's Kucinich?
I mean, in terms, I think there's a few things now that conservatives and the left kind of would agree on more now than ever before. Which, number one, is majority of them don't fucking want wars.
Yep.
You know, that's just for like the ultra right and the fucking liberals that are just brain dead idiots.
I apologize. I think there was a survey done about responsible gun ownership, and it was like, even in the Republican Party, there was, 65%. It was well above what the media would have you believe on Fox News, that, Republicans don't want anything to do with responsible gun ownership, and that the Second Amendment should just be everyone has guns, including teachers. But in reality, there are Republicans that do want that. And so I take it back. I apologize.
Yeah, so them and the majority of NRA members want sensible gun control. But the NRA was taken over by the gun manufacturing companies. They run it, and they're the ones that have the lobbies and all this kind of shit. But the majority of people, like I said, even and also shockingly enough, Republicans are not all homophobic. The majority of them don't give a fuck. They're fine with LGBT people, and they don't care about the trans.
It's the crazy ones. It's the ones that like you're going to hell.
Yeah,
the
MAGA lot.
There are a lot of politicians actually who don't give a fuck, but what they do realize is that, who does give a fuck? My constituents, the people who vote for me. So I'm just gonna fucking hate on these motherfuckers because I know it's gonna fucking keep me in power and stuff like that. And that in itself,
papers with conflict, right? So they're gonna put up the worst of the worst.
But that only worked to a degree. What happened with the recent, I don't know what they call it in America, but the by-elections, where a lot of the Republicans ran on abortion and anti-trans rhetoric, they all got their asses handed to them.
No, they didn't, because Roe versus Wade was overturned, and
that's different. That's different. They had a by-elections a few weeks ago, and all the MAGA lot that ran on the platform of pro-abortion, pro-life, and anti-trans stuff, they all lost.
Yep.
Because people, despite Roe v. Wade being overturned, the majority of Republicans, they had referendums in deep red states. I think it was Kansas and all of that shit. And they all voted in favor of pro-choice, not pro-life. And so,
by the way, sorry, I have to interrupt before I forget. If anyone wants to go on a camping trip in Canada, because it's illegal to go camping in the United States, I have a great camping site here at which they can stay after a good camping trip. So let me know.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean,
put it in the comments.
The thing is that with this country, it's really annoying because like the female voting bloc here has galvanized around the wrong issue. If they galvanize around actual female issues, they do pretty well. Like for example, we've talked about this before. Like for the fact that they've been talking about the flaming trans issue. Why don't they talk about the domestic abuse issue? That's horrible. This country, the flaming laws here are very middle age.
Yeah, well, we've always defended fucking wife beaters in this country.
Wife beaters and pedophiles. That's what we're defending in this fucking country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But this is why. This is why I have no respect for the women that go the fucking TERFs, the trans exclusionary radical feminists. I have no respect for them, or the gender critical idiots, because they do not actually give a fuck about women's issues at all. They just are transphobic. They don't want to share the space with trans women. They find that it's an attack on their little weird fucking club that they've made up in their head. And so their vitriol and bigotry is focused on there. Meanwhile, in this fucking country, every week, not a week goes by when a rapist is not jailed, when cases of sexual assault are just not taken to court, where women are speaking out and then they just get lambasted and ridiculed in the press and all this kind of shit every fucking week. And I'm like, why aren't you focusing on that? You have a powerful group that could do
Voting
make
block.
changes. Yeah, a powerful voting block that can say, sort the fucking law out. It's women are in, it's dangerous to be a woman in this country, okay?
Yes.
Assault cases
Everywhere.
I would say everywhere. I would say everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. You're all right. Absolutely. Everywhere. But it's this, not having this idea to how to prioritize an issue. And instead, you're just focusing on what you're being fed by the Americans yet again. And you're getting rolled up and caught up in the propaganda and the lies within the media. You're ignoring the actual plight of women. I've yet to see women come out in their fucking droves saying, change the laws to proper go after rapists, to proper go after sexual assaulters. We get drips and drabs in this country.
Well,
I think
I do have a point to make on that. And
Yeah, go for it, bro.
the majority of judges are male.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
they're the ones that hand down the make jurisprudence or pass
Yeah.
laws, and
Yeah.
and also the ones that pass down sentences. And that, in my opinion, is also a very big problem, because I don't know, it's like that one swimmer that was in that university, and that one judge said, well, I'm giving him probation because I don't want to ruin his
Turner.
life.
Brock Turner.
So
yeah, Brock Lesnar. Turner.
people like that shouldn't be allowed to be judges. Women should see that and come out in droves there as well and petition for, because judges and lawyers all have to belong to a professional standards board,
Yeah.
and petition to have their licenses revoked
Revoked. Yeah, absolutely.
because they're not applying the laws correctly.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, so again, with the judges in the UK, is they have a huge skew towards the right-wing establishment, and we've seen it time and time. This is why paedophilia is just not taken serious in this country, because there are a lot of them that are pedophiles within all the fucking parties. It's not just the Tory party, but also powerful institutions, and even fucking judges and all this kind of shit. So, and they're massively sexist as well, and they're caught up in sexual assault allegations and all this kind of shit. So they're all just going to protect their own, and this is why nothing gets done. We had literally, Christine, last month, because the prison situation is so bad in this country, the Tories came out and said, "Oh, don't put rapists in prison. There's just no room for them." And it's just like, fantastic. That just gives everyone carte blanche to just go out and do things.
You know what? Any politician that says that, they should have the community buy the house next to that politician, insert those rapists into that house, and let them live next door to that politician and his family or her family.
Why the fuck
There
not?
you go.
Yeah.
There's an old school YouTuber that I still watch today because he keeps me going while I'm working, but he does a show like 3 times a week. His name is the Cult of Dusty Smith.
Oh,
And
Yeah, I know him.
And he has the Cult of Dusty show,
Redeemed
and
himself over the years.
he's redeemed himself big time, by the way.
Yeah.
And he has the Cult of Dusty show, and he has all these different segments on his show. And one of the segments is called Religious Bullshit. And every time he does the religious bullshit segment, he talks about this week's or like what's happened in the last few days regarding these pastors, priests, religious clergy members who have all been arrested for rape, incest, pedophilia, all of these things. And this happens every 2 or 3 days. He's talking about the latest batch of fucking religious fucking hierarchy who've been arrested. Whilst at the same time, these motherfuckers who are deflecting and are looking upon the LGBT community as being pedophiles are so wrong because it's never them. It's always these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
always.
Actually, we should probably change. I know we're talking about politics now. Do you want to go into that direction because it's something
Whatever you want.
that's just happened?
I've got
Like
nothing
I don't
else
know.
in
I'm
the
just hearing
pocket.
this from you now. They're saying there's
Yeah.
a block arrest.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, whatever. It's an open forum, so whatever you want to talk
Yeah,
about.
well, you were talking about
Well, you would be talking about it because you're the one who just brought it up. I don't know. I hadn't heard about this, but I will say this is that everyone's all like trans people are sexualizing our children, and then I'm like, have you seen at that what is it, Children's and Tiaras programs where they have 4-year-olds strutting out on stage?
Yeah, child beauty pageants, and they fucking make them sexual.
Yeah. Have you gone
Pedophile
to
wet
see a
dream
football
programs.
game with your family and watch cheerleaders come out and shake their asses?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
any family member can go to a football game, but you're not taking your kids to a 21 and over nightclub to watch, you know, a show with some people, some men in dresses putting on a nice show. So who's really sexualizing whom?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
exactly.
Exactly. You got kids going to Hooters and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I find this idea of that people are programmed to be trans just total disingenuous bullshit. Because the thing is that people are trans because they're born trans. They're not hypnotized into it. They're not, cajoled into it. It's something that who they are. And people don't get this. You can explain to them a million times. You might as well be talking to the wall. And the thing is, this country, it tends to be otherwise intelligent women who flaming promote this bullshit. That I start to get across.
Yeah,
Well,
turfs.
I won't call them turfs, but like because people said that's a derogatory term. But like,
It's supposed to be a fucking derogatory term. It's like calling somebody a cunt. They are turfs. That's what they are. They're so triggered by the word they want to call themselves gender critical feminists.
It's like calling someone a Karen.
Yeah, it's,
That-
it's
That's-
supposed to be a
I'm
slur, and it
offended.
should be.
I hate to use the word I'm offended, but when someone hijacks the word feminist and then throws it in with that other bullshit, that really torques me, because feminist or being a feminist is an important thing. It's just calling for this crazy idea that we should be treated equally under the law and as human beings, by the way. That's just what feminism is. But then to throw in all these other, letters at the end that are just really nothing about equality, and the opposite of it is
It's
just
exclusionary.
offensive.
Yeah, it's exclusionary. Do you hear that, Cheeto? That's what feminism is, about treating women equally. I know you don't like doing that. You like to treat women as third-class citizens, but there you go, Zam. I've got Cheeto back for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, look, how many, look, it's always deflection. And, those who shout the most are what they say they accuse the others of being. And there's a fucking plethora of right-wingers that are always the ones that come out, they're like massively homophobic, hugely anti-trans, accuse the other side of being groomers, and oh, look, they've been arrested for doing just that.
Yeah.
And
Or they're like, what was that group, Mothers for Freedom or whatever in the United States, and not one of their members were mothers or women?
Mums for Liberty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mums of Liberty, yeah. Sorry, what did you say, Christine? They what?
They weren't even really women. I think there was probably one or two secretaries. But it was run by men.
That is ridiculous. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like Matt Walsh. I think it was Shredder last a couple of weeks ago. Exposed us to what Matt Walsh used to do before he got to the Daily Wire, which was nappy wrestling with flaming some guy with a
Yeah.
I didn't understand what you said. I'm sorry.
So Matt Walsh, you know who Matt Walsh is, right?
Yeah, he's a dickhead, talking head in the United States on some third-rate news station or something.
That's the one. Yeah. So basically, Cheeto kind of showed what he used to do beforehand. Mr. White Walsh, I'm not a white supremacist bollocks, and he's sitting there being a commentator on Nappy Wrestling show. Oh, and one of the contestants had a fucking swastika tattoo on their back. Well, backyard nappy wrestling more than anything. And Cheeto's a big fan of it, and so's Jose. They used to watch it religiously.
Well, wrestling's wrestling. I
Cheeto's
guess,
not very talkative in the comments.
Exactly.
I'd love to hear what Cheeto has to say in the comments if he's got the cojones.
Yeah, Cheeto. Why don't you come in and talk about how you supported Matt Walsh and his Nazi nappy wrestling?
By the way,
just
I've actually said this on Twitter, and I wasn't trying to be offensive, but I've always thought that Matt Walsh looks like a trans man. He does, and I've always thought that Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like a trans woman.
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene definitely looks like a trans woman, built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah,
wouldn't that be awesome? Because it's not offensive to us that people are trans, but to people like them, it would be so hurtful to them to be accused of being that.
Yeah, if they got called that, they'd shut up. They wouldn't say shit.
I'd tell that to their face. I'd be like, bro, you look like a man, or you look like a woman.
Yeah, even though we know it's not a dig, it's not truly a bad thing to be. Like, we know that.
No, of course
but
not.
to them,
because they hate it. Yeah. It's like
and wasn't it not Green, but the other witch that kind of like are similar? Bobert. Wasn't she the one in the theater that was caught?
Yep, that bitch was right here in my state doing stupid shit.
Yeah, she was jerking off. She was at an event where there's killed children and stuff at this event, and she's on the first date with this guy, and she's already got her hand down his pants, which is nothing wrong in that, by the way. But you are supposed to be a conservative. I have an issue when it's conservatives. You know what I mean? And when they try to be all like fucking squeaky clean and all that sort of shit, and then you're doing the very thing that you would probably condemn other people for doing. They're all
the fucking worst.
Yeah, she was also.
Well, let's hear from our American.
Yeah, pot meat kettle, motherfucker. Yeah. Lauren Boebert. Yeah, she's crazy. She is crazy as hell.
You better fucking vote her out.
We had the chance to vote her out. Like, she fucking. If I lived in the bitch's district, I would have, but I don't. It all comes down to that. But yeah,
she's just another one that's all. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but as the American here, she's also one of those trans people are sexualizing our kids and bringing America down morally. And here she is.
Yeah, here she is doing crazy like Monica Lewinsky type shit.
And a grandma of that 40.
What I hate about the Republicans though and these right wingers is that they constantly go on about being in the land of the free, and if you are considering yourself to be in the land of the free, then stop giving a fuck about other people who are different to you. But they can't help themselves. No. They want to condemn.
No, it's the land of the free. It's the land of the free.
Land of the free as long as you do what I say.
Yeah, as long as you do what we tell you to do and you dress like us, you talk like us, you act like us, then you can be free to say and do what you want. But you got to agree with our views. That's fucking the Republican state here in America.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I've always had an issue with that regarding them claiming freedom and this, that, and the other. It's just a one-way street. Drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right. Has anyone else got anything they want to talk about?
No, I'm pretty.
I don't think so.
Done.
Yeah, sweet. Cheetah, I don't know if you're still in the comments. You want to jump on and talk about Ridley Scott at all? Where the fuck is his post? I can't see it anywhere.
Oh, one quick thing is the tangent as well. I'm just pissed off lately. I don't use the self-serve checkout because I fill my cart, I unfill it, run it through the checkout, put it back in my cart, and as I leave, you have the balls to ask me to look at my receipt to see if I did work that you didn't pay me for correctly? No, I'm never using that checkout. It puts people out of a job. I hope other people consider that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been guilty of it. I'll be honest with you, only because of time and efficiency, which is why I've done it. But I try to get people to people behind the counter to do it, because and I don't fucking work there, so why the fuck am I doing the job of somebody who does? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't. I will avoid the self checkout with every fiber of my being as much as I can. 2 reasons. Number one, they're not efficient. They're not fast. They're frustrating as fucking hell. Every item not recognized. Take this item back out. Put it back in. You can't do like I've got 4 of this item.
Yeah, you have
bang
to
it in, scan 1, chuck the rest in.
Mm-hmm.
Can't fucking do that. As I have to scan everything individually. I hate it. It's slow. It should never replace jobs. It's always broken. I'm disabled as well, so I've got a lot of problems with my legs. And so because this process is a lot slower, I get in a lot of excruciating pain with my feet. I then get frustrated and angry. And on several occasions, I've just left my shopping, emptied my bag out right there and just left, because I do not have the mental capacity and the physical strength to sit there and deal with these fucking cancerous things. Now, I've done it on a few occasions, and with Lidl's, now when I go to my Lidl's, because it's just up the road from where I live, I insist that somebody opens a till. I said, look, I'm disabled. I have problems. I need this done quickly, efficiently. So I'm not standing for too long a period, and I'm in and out. And if there's tills open, I will wait for the fucking tills.
You know what? You're not giving me the staff discount. I don't work here, so you'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll pay that employee to fucking do it.
Yeah, I'd rather they had a system where it was nothing but fucking normal tills, okay, where they give people jobs rather than siphoning off the billions in profit that they're making anyway. You know what? You're fucking up local communities anyway. You're destroying local businesses. The least you could do is give these fucking people a job, not automate everything. I hate them with a passion. And here, a place up north, a shop up north, Gaz, I don't know if you know about them. I forgot what they're called, Rob Wells or Lowe's or something like that. They got rid of all their self-service checkouts. They brought back normal tills because they said it's just not helping people. They're inefficient. They're garbage. And
if I could get a personalized till, I don't use those checkouts don't work. They're such a faff compared to just an old person doing that.
Yeah,
if you found out some way.
Yeah, just they're annoying. Cheeto, Jose.
Yo, yeah, these checkout things, I don't fucking use them. I pay for delivery, so that's how I do it because I'm disabled. So I'm like, nope, I don't use those fucking things.
Hey, there's 3 of us.
Nope.
Yeah, well, like I said, because sometimes because I'm working and stuff, and time is of the essence. I might get a job any minute now. I need to quickly grab my snack.
That's fine.
I sometimes got no choice because all I'm buying myself is a sandwich and a drink from the supermarkets,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. I need to get in, get out. But usually when I'm buying a shitload of stuff, I try to go to the tills.
Yeah, the only other thing I would do, which technically isn't great, but because of my condition, it does help immensely. You have with you your little shopping gun, and you can scan your items as you shop, and then you just go to a till, scan the till with that, and you just pay and you go. So
I've never seen that.
Yeah, so over here, what we have is it's just basically called Shop and Go, and you go with your phone and you scan your we lost Gaz.
Item.
You scan your phone that has the app, and you get a little shopping gun, and you could just go around, scan your items, put them in a bag as you go. So you're shopping as you're going. Then when you're done, you go to a till, you scan, you press the gun there, it gives you your price. You pay, you go. Sometimes the staff will be asked to check your bag, scan a couple of items just to make sure you haven't stolen a bunch of stuff, and you go. It's a very quick process. I do prefer it because of my condition, but if I didn't have my condition, I wouldn't use it at all. But again, it's only at certain locations of Tesco, so it's not
certain
everything.
days you have more pain than others, I imagine.
yeah, there are some days where I have everything planned out, pre-planned, every aisle that I need, go in, get my stuff, get to the till, get the fuck out. Because I can't. When I start being in a lot of pain, I get extremely irritable, and I get very short with people, and I might snap. So I just need to be
Yeah.
in and out because the pain is just too much. So
I have I live just outside of a small town because I live out in the woods now, and
nice.
there's one store that we have a shopping store. It's not quite a corner store. It's not quite a supermarket, and they've got 2 handicap spots. I try not to use the handicap spot unless I'm having a really bad day. I'd rather someone that's having more trouble than me have it than, So I went in there, and a couple times, particularly one time, this asshat had a big pickup truck, had
Always the way.
parked across both spots. And I drive by and I give him the stink eye, right? I don't yell at him. I don't roll down my window. Don't give him the finger. I just go and park, and I get out of my car. And for some reason, I thought, I'm going to put my placard in my purse. And I'm walking by. He's like, are you staring at me? Are you staring at me? I just unzip my purse, pull up my placard, put it back in my purse, and kept walking.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, just the disrespect that people do.
And then
no courtesy.
it kept happening. So people kept parking there without placards, and I said to the manager one day, I said, I'm not complaining. I just want you to know that it's not very clear because the paint is peeling, even though I thought it was pretty obvious. But I was like giving the benefit of the doubt. So maybe perhaps some people haven't noticed. And he's like, I only have to paint it every 2 years. All right.
Well, it's still no excuse of parking across 2 the spaces, taking up both of the spaces.
And he was a young guy. He was like 18 in a big truck, fucking jumping in and out of the truck. There was nothing
Dumbass.
fucking wrong with him.
I fucking hate humans like that. Just no,
Yeah.
just no courtesy whatsoever. In the UK here, like if you do park in one of those spots, they'll just, if you don't have a badge, a lot of places will fine you.
Yep, they do that. They're supposed to do that here too. Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
My mum
I mean,
has one.
Which say goes?
My mum has one of those badges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they expire after a certain amount of time. I can't remember how long it is.
Yeah,
they do here too. They do.
Yeah,
here
you have
too.
to reapply every so often, but it's not too daunting. Once you're in, it's easy.
There was a video I watched on the internet, and this woman was in a wheelchair, and a postal employee had parked her van because some spots have that yellow line partition next to the actual parking spot, so the ramp can come out of your vehicle.
Yeah.
And the postal worker had parked her truck there. And this girl came back and she's like, you got to move your truck. I can't get in my car. And the woman actually had the nerve to be like, I don't have to move. I'm not in a handicap spot. She's like, yeah, but you don't understand. That's not a parking spot, first of all, but it is part of this. So I can get in and out of my vehicle. And she kept arguing with her to the point where the girl in the wheelchair called the cops and filmed it. And while they're waiting, the postal employee starts berating her and saying, you must have a miserable life being in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
I was like,
I mean, the level of fuckery. Like we always see, like in America, the kind of big Karen meltdowns that happen when you're just simply asked, "Hey, can you, can you
Be a
do this
human?
for me, please? Can you have a bit of courtesy?" And then it's just like, I'm the victim here. Oh, like,
Yeah.
all this kind
And then-
of shit.
Then the cop shows up and starts like, instead of telling her to immediately move, because it's plain to see she's not in the right place, starts listening to her be the Karen, and then doesn't give her a ticket, I'd be like, fucking let me rip out my ticket book and give you everything I can. Because first, you didn't move for the woman in the wheelchair. You called her friggin' names. And then you wasted the cop's time and had him come out just to tell you to move. Oh, you'd get everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll throw every fucking ticket at you. That's just... it's just crazy. Like, people, they just get so offended when you ask them to be courteous. Like here, like how many times here when you get idiots that park up and throw the McDonald's out and just say, look, there's a bin just there, guys. Just please fucking put it there. So every week, if you're not throwing out gas canisters when you're huffing on bloody the
Gas,
balloon stuff,
petrol.
when you're not huffing that fucking gas, you're throwing out food all the time, and it just, they get leery. They want to fight you, and it's just like, no, just fuck off. Just be courteous.
That's again what they're trying to save face. Their pride's in the way.
Yeah,
and they're stupid. They know they're wrong, but they want to double down because they know they're wrong, but they just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, so one of my neighbors
why
turned
that
their
started.
security camera. My neighbors turned their security camera now and just films that part of the road where they see. I mean, they don't cause trouble, but it's the litter that's annoying, And so, they've caught them on their number plates doing it, and they don't come here anymore. So,
Well, it's not their property. They don't care if they make your neighborhood look like shit or bring your property value down because they're spending their money on huffing gas and not buying a house like you are.
Exactly. They don't give a fuck. So they're just like, whatever, man. I'll park down the street in front of the garages and I'll do what I want. But it's like, all right. Well, suddenly they've disappeared now because they must have got fines. Because over here, like, they don't mess about. If you fine, here it's like £400 fine. It's like, $600. They don't mess about.
I was just gonna say, I'll bet that's $600.
$600 if you litter like in a way that it's because they treat a lot of it like fly tipping. So normal littering, you'll get like a £65 fine, like $80 fine. But for things like chucking things out of your car, they treat it as fly tipping. So they'll just hit you with a maximum penalty if they can.
Fly tipping is really annoying to me because that's someone worked really hard to afford that property, and then you just have the nerve. My tenants downstairs, and I live in bear country, continuously leave garbage outside overnight, and I keep telling them, stop. We've got wolves, coyotes, bears. Don't do that. Don't do that. And now the leaves are off the trees, and wouldn't you know, there's a pathway out to the pond, and there's just this garbage bag that's been torn up. I didn't see it in the summertime. Just the whole path is littered now with all this garbage. And I come in today after going grocery shopping, and there's 3 bags out there full of, stuff that animals will be attracted to.
Yeah, that's just fucking stupid. That is just really irresponsible. If you're out in the woods and you're attracting like different kind of animals, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Just dispose of the problem. Over here in the UK, they don't help themselves because to professionally dispose of rubble and say you're working on a house and all this kind of shit and you're getting rid of stuff, for professionals to do it costs a lot of fucking money. And so rather than put that cost onto the consumer, they just go and dump it out in the middle of the field, or they're unlicensed. A lot of them are unlicensed because you need a license. Don't cost much to get a license to go and dump stuff. And so the problem with the UK is they've put too much bureaucracy in the way of just being able to go to the fucking dump and dump your stuff, even as a household. So they changed the rules here for me because I used to go to the one out in Hertfordshire, which was technically closer than the one that was within my borough. It took me less time to get to, but to do that now, I have to live in that borough, and so I can't go there. So I have to go to the Imwell one, and you have to go online and pre-book and all this kind of stupid shit. And it's like there's too many barriers for people dumping their stuff, and that's why there's now an epidemic of just people just dumping the shit out in the streets and just letting the local council come and pick it up because they made it more difficult. And you can't keep shooting yourself in the foot and then finding people for your own bad bureaucracy. And that's the big issue.
There's no excuse here because our dump is open, I think, every other day and open all weekend. It's free. There's no reason for them to leave the garbage out.
No, there's no. It's just laziness. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
It's just
It's
laziness.
insulting to me too because they're friends. Well, one of them is a friend. Now he's got a girlfriend living here, and it's her now that's doing all this bullshit. But you know, I let him off on the rent because he's an army buddy of mine, and she's just. It was so copacetic. Everything was so nice here, and then she's in the mix now, and it's just horrible. Anyway.
I hate that when somebody comes along and just ruins a good thing. It's just frustrating. Hey, use your Canadian Second Amendment on her. You know what I mean?
Well, we don't have quite the same thing here, but
I know.
I don't know who I was talking to last time I was on here, Zamir. Someone was asking me if about deer and getting cars hitting deers here or moose. My uncle hit a deer last week.
Did he keep it and eat it?
No, he didn't, because we have rules here that the police come by and then the meat is distributed to needy people. And I was telling him, he was so upset. I wasn't in the car with him. And I said, well, is the deer still alive? And he said, yeah, it's alive. But it's definitely going to die, right? I said, well, I've got my bug out bag in the back of the car. Why don't you get my knife out? He's like, I can't do that. I said, well, I would hate to have to do that, but I would rather take that pain on than let that deer suffer for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's it. You don't want to see him suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, Zam, I can't hear you, dude.
Yeah, you muted me.
Can't hear you. Speak again? Nope.
Nope.
Zam?
Something's up with his mic.
Must have unplugged it.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem, Christine.
Yep.
Nope, still can't hear you.
Yep.
Leave and come back in.
Okay, yeah, he'll come back.
Anyway, I posted the thing in private that you wanted to see about Ridley Scott's thing about the thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about Ridley Scott just after the deer stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, why is my browser's running really fucking slow? I don't know why.
Yeah, mine is kind of doing that too. I'm probably actually going to be dipping out, y'all.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
All right.
That's all good, man.
All right, I'll see
Have a
y'all
good night,
later.
mate.
All right, have a good night, man. Later.
Nope. Yep.
Hello?
Nope,
Can you hear
even
me?
I'm frozen.
Yeah, you can hear you now.
Oh my god.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on. What's going on there? My thing's just gone fucking.
I can hear you, did.
Right, I'm back. Have we had any more comments? Because everything's no, we haven't. That's fine.
No, I was going to say regarding when you go talk about disabled spaces, I'm guilty of actually parking on them, but I don't get out of my car. I'm very limited in where I can pull over at times when I'm picking people up in my cab. London, obviously, as you know, Ginger, it's this narrow as fuck and the spaces are limited. But I do make it a priority not to get out of my fucking car, you know, because if a disabled person does come along who owns that space, I will move.
Oh, you're worse than Hitler, you are, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm only there just to wait somewhere where I can pull over for
That's
a
different.
moment.
That's completely
You know what I
different.
mean?
That's completely
And
different.
hoping that the person who owns that space doesn't fucking come back. The majority of the time, they don't.
Yeah,
So,
it's like I don't get mad when non-disabled people use the disabled toilet, and the reason being is sometimes you just, you know, if you've got to shit, you've got to shit, and a lot of times people use I get annoyed if they use it and they piss everywhere. That's where I get annoyed.
Yeah,
But if we're going for a shit, it's all good. Like, you gotta go. But in terms of disabled spots, as long as you're by your car, then that's fine. It's people that just park there and fuck off for ages, or do their shopping just because they want to be close to the thing, and it's.
Well, I'll tell you what I do park in is the parent spaces.
Oh yeah,
fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck
I do that. Yeah.
If people go to me, "Where's your kid?" I go, "He's at home."
Yeah. I park in those. I don't give a fuck about those spaces because a parent's not going to die if they have to walk a few extra feet and all that kind of shit.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I do it too.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my parents did it. You, as someone who had children, they parked where they could. You can live with it. It's not a necessity.
Yeah. When it's the parent and child parking, it's not the end of the world.
And you know what? Sometimes I do midnight shopping and stuff like that, and I'm happy to park in there. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're the type of person who has to bring their kids shopping at midnight, then you're a fucking bad parent.
Yeah. See, now midnight shopping, I don't care if somebody parks on the disabled spot either, because there's plenty of
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't care. Like,
but it doesn't. It should
because
anyway.
I'm talking like a Tesco here, where they've got like 20 disabled spaces. Okay, at midnight, there's only one being taken up by somebody that's not disabled. I don't care about that. It's when it's busy, and then they fucking take the spot. And
or there's only two.
Or there's only two, and then they park across both of them.
But you're right.
I know
20
people who
spots, and then next to the 20 spots, there'll be 4 parent spots.
Yeah.
And it's like, next thing you know, you're parking across the street with, at another store.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people who park at the pickup point. Stuff like that. I've seen people do that as well. Like, what the fuck? And I know a mate of mine who happily park on a double yellow line after maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the evening because he doesn't expect anyone to give him a ticket at that time.
As long as they're not blocking anything or causing.
No, they're not blocking anything. Yeah,
that's fine.
Oh, I meant to say goodbye to the gentleman that was here before.
Jose. It's all good. Yeah,
it's all good.
Fuck was I going to say now about
double yellow line? I interrupted you.
Oh yeah, the double yellow line stuff. Yeah, as long as you're not being a nuisance and all that. And I want to make clear, when my legs were working fine, I would normally go and park as far away as possible where I wouldn't have my car fucking dinged by wankers, and just walk to the supermarket. But because I don't, I obviously need the disabled spaces or the baby spaces to kind of park in to be closer. But before that, because my car's been scratched, look at my car. It looks like a piece of shit from the outside because it's been dinged and scratched by every piece of shit in this country. But the innards, it's a nearly 20-year-old car, but the innards, like, again, it passes MOT with flying colors and all this kind of shit. But if I had a nice car, I'd be very reluctant to go and park anywhere in these supermarkets, even the disabled spots, because they get scratched to shit because the spaces here in the UK, they're very narrow. Like, you barely got enough room to fucking get out. So, yeah. Or
generally in Europe, you have smaller cars because of the taxes.
Yeah, but every prick in this country is bloody driving a 4x4 now because they went it for safety, which is a lot of bullshit. It's only safe if you could drive the vehicle. You can't drive it for shit. And you're causing
I would say that about soccer moms. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you can drive it.
Yeah,
they're the biggest offenders. It's women in 4x4s. They can't drive them. They block up all the roads. They cause all the traffic during the school run and all the chaos at the supermarkets and all this kind of shit. And it's stupid. We should ban them in the country.
Because you point out, you're blocking this, miss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have an electric car, so like I'm like,
shut up, you hippie.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, I want to quickly just talk Guys, can you pass me that link in Facebook, because here it's just fucking broken.
While you're doing that link, speaking of people and being Karens, I told you about the person downstairs. She backed in to a pole, and I'm like,
Lovely.
how do you hit a stationary target? I mean, you're the moving thing. Don't you have control? Like the pole can't move. You're the one moving. I mean, shit.
Probably
Like,
didn't see it because it's stupid.
no, she is.
Yeah,
Stupid.
you know.
So I took some sick pleasure from that, I must admit.
Well, as long as there was a nice fat damage to their car, and it cost
Back window smashed, back
Lovely.
panel,
good.
and
Fucking-
it snowed here about a week ago. The snow was gone, but when they got up in the morning, the plastic that they put over the window had collapsed.
and the whole car
Snow
got snowed
gone
in. Lovely. Lovely. So yeah, I want to quickly just finish off. I thought Cheetah might have joined us for this, but he's disappeared. The coward.
What were you showing us?
I was gonna say I don't even know this person, but they seem very cowardly.
Nah, he's lovely. He's one of the regulars in this channel. He's
He's a good guy, really.
he's a good guy. We just like busting his balls.
He's out with his friends at the moment.
Yeah, we just
What?
He's out with his friends.
yeah. No,
We make
he's
fun
back.
of him
He's
for
out with his
being-
folks.
Yeah,
Friends,
he's a
friends,
bit, we make fun of him for being a bit of a Ned Flanders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. fucking prick.
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah, so Ridley Scott basically is saying that. So I'll just read it verbatim. Ridley Scott is not a fan of superhero films because they're fucking boring as shite, man. Their scripts are not any fucking good. They're superhero movies. So why don't brackets they have better stories? They're mostly saved by special effects. This from the guy who gave us fucking the 2 Prometheus films. Where the fuck's Kaz gone? I just had him on.
I put him in there.
Oh, sorry. Just so Ridley
You know
Scott.
the guy from Die Hard,
What?
the actor from Die Hard.
No, it's a director.
Bruce
No,
Willis.
you're thinking of Alan. What's his name?
Rickman.
Yeah.
No,
Alan
the actor
Rickman.
from Die Hard,
Ooh,
Bruce
Willis.
Willis.
Yeah.
He was in a superhero film that was very underrated, I think, and I can't remember the name of it.
Unbreakable and Glass.
Unbreakable. Oh, that they filmed that so well. If you really look at cinematography, I suggest go back and look at it.
I've watched that film.
Unbreakable
I wasn't a fan of it. It was M. Night
Unbreakable, I
Shyamalan.
liked.
But a lot of people like that
Glass.
film.
I didn't like Glass. They did it wrong. You know, like the whole premises was stupid.
Yeah.
It should have been a lot better than what it was. You know,
I didn't see Glass.
You're not missing anything.
Anyway, yeah. So as I was saying in the chat before, I get where he's coming from because he's got a new film about Napoleon coming out, and he wants to see by people. But the thing is that he's got to understand that again, it's dependent on demand. It's not dependent on.
Well, Napoleon. First of all, hang on. Napoleon is coming out on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming out in the cinema. It's a
What,
series.
Joaquin Phoenix?
It's not a film. Yeah.
It's a series.
It's a
I thought
series.
it
It's
was
not a film. No, it's a
I'll tell you
series.
this.
Secondly, a
Yeah.
guy who gives us the 2 shit Prometheus films and fucking Kingdom of Heaven, just shut the fuck up. A guy who consistently skews stories and history. Okay, well, I mean, he's not unique in that.
And he ruined the law of the aliens in fucking Prometheus.
Yeah, you know,
and the Alien Covenant.
And Kingdom of Heaven was just historically inaccurate. Okay, so Napoleon, I'm pretty sure is just going to get picked apart by historians as well, and all this kind of shit. The guy is just that. I understand his frustration. I understand these old directors' frustration that superhero films have just kind of taken over and all this kind of shit. But the problem is, those are the fucking things that are funding everything at the moment. So they're a necessary evil. It's like when I said to Vogta, I said, sometimes you need sometimes you got to do a deal with the devil to get things out there.
Yeah,
And-
for one passion project, you've got to do like 5 shit
Exactly.
movies first.
Exactly. And it's like I said, like people always disregard the channel RT. They're like, oh, it's Russian propaganda. All that stuff. I'm like, so what? What's the difference between the channel RT and Fox and CNN and MSNBC? Like this fucking ridiculous, and BBC. They're all propaganda for their own governments. The good thing with RT though is RT allowed Americans to go on there and talk freely about all the atrocities that were being caused in America. So it's a deal with the devil that benefits people. You know, if you want to hear bad shit about Russia, you go to our own media to tell that. But this is the same thing with Ridley Scott. To get his passion projects funded and all this kind of shit, you need the big studios making big profits elsewhere to get biopics done. Biopics generally don't do very well. All right. And so if he had a better standing, if his films had better quality than what they have in recent years, he might have a leg to stand on. But unlike Martin Scorsese, most of his stuff is absolute shite. And I don't personally rate him, but I can understand, like, you know, people love Blade Runner. Alien, I love Alien. It's a great fucking film.
Alien's great.
Yeah, Alien's fantastic.
Was it
Blade
Tony
Runner,
Scott or
I
Ridley
don't
Scott who
like.
did Black Rain?
No,
That's Ridley Scott.
did
That was
Black
Tony
Rain.
Scott.
No, that's
okay.
Ridley Scott. No, Ridley Scott did Black Raid.
Oh, did he do? Oh, okay.
The Black Rain is fucking awesome.
So yeah, and that's the thing. His best films are not the big epics. His best films are things like Black Rain, Matchstick Men, you know, things like that. The kind of smaller films, and all this. So when it comes to epics, he fucking fails. And he's telling about how you need a good story that, but they rely on special effects to make them work and all this kind of shit. Again, recur to the 2 Prometheus films. And
Well, James, I've always said.
Yeah, go on.
I've always said that, you know, different generations have different types of movies that are making bank. In the 70s, it was all about disaster films. They were fucking penny to a pound, a variety of them. Come the 80s into the 90s, science fiction was everywhere. You know, from Star Wars all the way to like films like Event Horizon and shit like that. Loads of fucking sci-fi space films. And now we're in the superhero era of movies, in my opinion. And I think it's now
it's going to be games. It's going to be video games
down.
Era.
Yeah,
absolutely. You're absolutely right. Like spot on.
And
but the 90s, I will say, was more dominated by independent. That was the independent film era.
Yeah, when Tarantino came along,
Tarantino, actors, and you know, your all those kind.
Everyone wanted to be a Tarantino during that period.
Kevin Smith, and
Smith, and all this kind of. Like 90s had fantastic cinema, like so underrated. We have films like, you know, obviously Tarantino stuff, Leon, like Memento, so many fucking amazing films.
Even things like Fifth Element was independent, you know what I mean? And that was massive.
Yeah.
The budget for that film.
Huge.
But
But
I mean, Luke Besson, fucking great.
Lord of the Rings is an independent film. It was just the New Line Cinema gave Peter Jackson the money, but they didn't take any control over it. They just let him do his thing. And it was an independent production as well.
Yeah, but I think with what Ridley saying is that he wants people to be as intrigued with his story as, because he thinks it's an important story for people to know about, which you can argue with. Again, it's the same with Killers of the Flower Moon. Like, you know, Martin Scorsese said the same thing about that. But he wants people to know about that story because it's an important story about like the formation of the FBI.
But the thing is, if the film is interesting and it looks good and is marketed well, people will go and see it.
Agreed.
You know, yeah.
Look, my issue with that Napoleon film series, my whole issue with
film.
It's a film, not a series. Yeah,
It's a film.
I can't.
It's a film.
Look, my whole issue with it is I keep thinking of fucking Danny DeVito from Get Shorty. You know what I mean? That keeps popping into my head because they were mocking. Obviously, but he did like his character, the character he played, made the movie Napoleon, and so I'm seeing that all the fucking time. Yeah.
Every time they say Napoleon, I keep thinking of Bill and Ted.
Yeah, that too.
I think the series is going to go well because of Phoenix is in it, and I think a lot of people like him.
Yeah, he's probably the best character actor out at the moment. So,
and I think
series,
like you were saying, Ginger. A lot of times when people try and do these historical films, they really fuck it up because they're so inaccurate. And I think that if you're going to do a film like this, you really have to push the fact that it's loosely based on. So people will go to enjoy the story and know that, yes, there was a character like this and some of this happened, but I'm not going to fixate on all these mistakes because they do make so many mistakes.
Oh my god, yeah, there's so many inaccuracies. That's why I don't respect bioflick at all. I don't respect them because Hollywood always makes a huge mockery of them. But see, the problem with Hollywood, what it has embedded in it is that if you're telling a story of someone, they have to be the hero. You have to root for them. You have to have all the. You can't put all the nasty shit in there because people are not gonna. It's gonna turn people away, which is complete.
And they have to be attractive. They have to have a love interest, and it's like, well, that wasn't reality.
Exactly, and like it's just like, no, I want the fucking truth. I want the truth, but you know what? Biopics now to me are irrelevant when you have YouTubers that do.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, they do spectacular biographies on people. There are YouTubers that will go there and do the best research, tell you all the truth. So prime example is prior to the film's release, I went and looked at a YouTube documentary regarding Killers of the Flower Moon, the book and the whole story that happened before that. And it's fucking shocking what happened within that community. I haven't seen the film yet. But I wanted to know the real story before I see the film, so I could pick.
I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, what is it?
So, Killers of the Flower Moon, basically, what had happened back in the years when Native Americans were kind of pushed onto reservations and all this kind of shit. A lot of them had found oil on these reservations, and so they got,
And all of a sudden, the treaties weren't treaties anymore, and that's not your land.
Yeah, so they kept trying to basically take the land back from the natives, and or they bring in like outsiders to kind of deal with it, and those outsiders just had nefarious things to basically just rob the natives of everything and just give it to corporations and all this kind of shit. So in Killers of the Flower Moon, what happens within that tribe is there are 20 natives that were just murdered. And when they found out that the guy that they thought was one of theirs, even though like he was an American, but they thought he was there to kind of help the community and all this kind of shit, was actually trying to kill anyone that was going to profit from the oil so he can keep it for himself. So his like wife or something like that can transfer. Everything gets transferred to him and he has control over it. So it's basically a story of, your standard greedy white American kills the native population to get all the money. And it was a huge...
Well, I think each native community had a white representative that was supposed to keep them in line, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so basically it's the Osage Nation. So basically the role that Leo DiCaprio plays, he falls in love with one of the female versions, but his uncle is played by Rob De Niro, like mastermind this whole plan to,
which is a true story. That was a true story. His nephew married one of the people that kind of controlled the oil and all this kind of shit, and he manipulates him into helping murder a bunch of natives, and the resulting thing was, because obviously, these communities felt that they were just being ignored and allowed to suffer and die and all this kind of shit. And the one detective, actually, was it detective or somebody, actually took it upon themselves to kind of really investigate what was going on. And it was the kind of beginning of the formation of the FBI as a result of this investigation and what happened. And it's really fascinating. If you want, I can send you the documentary from YouTube, and then you can watch the film. I haven't watched the film yet, but I will when it comes out on digital. And that.
Oh, that'd be fine. That'd be awesome. You send it to me on Facebook or.
Yeah, I'll send it to you on Facebook.
Yeah.
No problem. And that's very good documentary. Yeah, no worries. And then, it's always easy to just fact check things yourself, but the documentary covers all that because I went afterwards. I always tend to have a look at things myself as well, just to double check. But yeah, it was spot on. Because
Hollywood's got to, like I said, it's got to make the characters handsome or beautiful. They can't. They're a black hat or a white hat. If the guy was single, he has to marry in the film. He has to be, wanted by women, attractive. There's got to be a love interest.
They can't show the sides of them that was like Elvis Presley was a massive piece of shit. It was a shitty human being, Elvis Presley, but they'll never fucking show that in the documentary. They'll just show certain cherry-picked aspects of it because of the cult worship around him. But, his relationship...
Like Mother Teresa.
Yeah, like Mother Teresa. Exactly. Another giant piece of shit.
That's the reason that I love Oppenheimer so much, is that it doesn't sugarcoat the fact that he had massive problems. Like, I don't want to spoil the film, but it showed the fact that he was a massive womanizer, that he was this egotist, that he rubbed some people the wrong way, and those people had influence within the government and stuff like that. That's why I love that film so much.
That's why that film made so much fucking bank as well, because when it was picked apart, it was said, other than a few indiscretions, it was mostly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
films?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came out at the same time as Barbie, so we had the Barbenheimer epic 2 movie spectacular.
Yeah, and I saw both of those in cinema, and trust me, Oppenheimer was the better one.
Yeah, yeah. I'll eventually watch Oppenheimer, but
all I can say it's fucking awesome.
So you've seen Barbie, then, have you?
Fucking Barbie was awesome.
Yes,
I haven't seen either.
I like both of them for different reasons. Like I love the happiness and the feminist message behind Barbie, but I just love the fact that Oppenheimer just goes places that a lot of films just don't go on about that subject.
Yeah, and that's what you want to fucking hear. I don't want sugarcoating. If a guy was a womanizer and a beater, did drugs and all this kind of shit, or said racist shit, put it in there. We know, people that know their history just find it insulting when you kind of hold back. That's why it's I fucking
if you're gonna do a documentary on Jefferson, right? Don't leave out the parts that he raped slaves and kept his illegitimate children in slavery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they never would. But cool. No. All right, I'm gonna end the stream there, guys.
I've just come back from fucking putting my birds away and charging my car.
Oh, well, dude.
Okay.
Anything you want?
I've got nothing to add. I'm just out of breath.
Oh, all right.
Next time you do this, let me know. I'll join you guys again if you want me to come.
Oh, definitely. Yes, fantastic having you, Christine. It's nice because again, we don't have the female perspective, but also regardless of that, your insight's always fantastic. So yeah, it's been great having you.
Thanks. And, I love seeing you guys again.
Yeah, it's like a throwback to the old era.
Me too.
Yeah.
Blog TV period times.
Blog TV.
And I've seen all of you in person.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Liverpool, and then we met again in Bristol.
I wasn't at my best in Liverpool. Sorry.
Perfectly.
We met each other.
Yeah, I heard the stories of what happened to you. I did feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all met each other at some point.
Yeah, we're back now. We're all back now. So cool.
Yeah,
all right, then.
Back where we belong, behind the computer.
That's it, exactly. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Good night.
Right.
We'll be back for more.
Hang up
stuff.
on me. I don't know how to do it. Bye.
Yeah, don't worry. Stay on, Christina.
We just say goodbye to everyone else.
Yeah, we'll
And
just
then-
say
What?
goodbye to everyone else.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, next Saturday, not Cheeto, Gaz, I don't know if you're around. Saturday or Sunday, we're going to be doing Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyone who likes Doctor Who, feel free to join. And